though? What up, though? What up, though? I'm your boy Agent AKA D.
Stubbs, how y'all doing?
AKA Mr. Wine with a Lime. You already know what time it is.
That's correct.
Hey, you know what, bro? I think we got a doctor in the house, don't we?
I know we have another guest.
We got a doctor in the house.
Doctor in the house.
Man, you already know what it is, man. I'm gonna tell them about our guest. You mind if I go ahead and cook?
Go ahead, it's all you.
Man, our guest today is a bioanalytical, I hope I said that right. You know, I'll be fluttering up my words. Chemist and the CEO of Total Analysis. He's also building a Detroit biotechnology startup tackling infectious diseases with their real germ technology. As long as with many other achievements that we're going to discuss here today on the show. This man right here, not only is he a doctor, he's a pioneer, increasing diversity in the STEM and also empowering Detroit's youth. Today, we would like to welcome the good doctor, Dr. Darrell D. Marshall. Please give a round of applause to him.
You guys just motivated the hell out of me. I sound cool as hell. I appreciate that.
You do the best intros.
Come on, nah. We both do good intros, man.
Now, can you explain, sorry for diving straight in, can you explain exactly what you do?
Yeah. So I'm going to start with a story. So what happened is in 2021, my grandfather got sick. I took him to the hospital for a head injury. He got really sick at the hospital. He got infected with something from the hospital, a hospital-related infection, and a month later he passed away. So, it really pissed me off. I know you guys probably experienced something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where
Yes.
you take somebody like, how the hell did they die, right?
Yeah.
It was one of those moments. So, what I found out is he died from this hospital-related infection, and the way those infections are spread were through surfaces. So my background is in infectious disease, and I decided to start building a company to do something about that. So what we did is we came up with a device to swab surfaces to see if it's infected, and then we can report those things out to like healthcare professionals. That's kind of how the company started. But my background, man, we got a journey, right? I went to Cooley High in Detroit. So
What year you graduated?
long enough.
Because you look familiar.
Yeah.
We might have went at the same time.
Yeah.
That's why I said.
You went in the 2000s?
Yeah.
Okay, what year?
I graduated 06.
Nah, I was before you. I was 01. So
Okay, you probably around my sister time.
You was probably around my sister time actually.
I know faces, not names.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna ask you either.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
All the drum. Never mind. We ain't gonna talk about
we
that.
ain't gonna-
We talked about that offline.
Yeah.
But yeah, so went to Cooley High School. Had a hell of a journey. I started at a junior college. I did 4 years at Henry Ford. You know, it's supposed to be a 2-year school.
Hey, you know what? I went in here before myself. What year were you?
I stopped in 05. I got out of there.
Oh, yeah.
05.
I was a couple years shorter than you.
Okay.
We talking about the college though, right? Here before college.
Yeah, but it was community college at that time.
It was a community
Yeah, that's
college.
what I went there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were supposed to be in and out, and I just stuck around a little bit longer, right?
They had
not-
so many
you know-
good programs though.
But you know what? You're not
That
the
ain't why I
only one.
stuck around. But
You ain't the only one, brother. Trust me.
It was right next to U of M, Dearborn.
yeah, so it's a funny story how I got out of there. It's because my girlfriend at the time, she ended up graduating. I'm like, yeah, I got to stop playing around. I got to graduate. So I basically did 2 years in a year. I just did everything, got out of there. Then I went to Wayne State. Started.
Shout out. Hey, same here.
Yeah, that's the journey, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you graduate to Wayne State, you take all those classes over the macro deal. You don't got to take none of those other
Good way to
classes.
save money.
Yep, save a lot of money. Then I went to University of Nebraska for a PhD.
The Cornhuskers?
Cornhuskers, black shirts.
Oh, wow. What made you go out there?
So I started in 2011. I was looking in the phone book for a school that was taking graduate students because it's like a role in a mission, and I was so late in the mission, so I was just going down the list, and I got to end. I called up the people. They said apply. I put in my application. Never even paid for the application. They put it, and they flew me out. I felt like a ball player, so I'm like, I'm going here.
So you got scholarships and everything to go there? Or how
No, it don't work like that. So in PhD, what you can do is you can become an RA or a TA. That's a research assistant or teaching assistant. So either you're going to teach or you're going to do research. I was lucky enough for my 5 years there to only teach a semester.
Really?
Yeah, because the research that I got on, we end up doing like a lot of cool stuff. So I got a bunch of like scientific publications from it. So
What did you teach?
chemistry, general chemistry. Yeah.
You know, chemistry is a heavy field for a lot of people. What made you I know you said about your grandfather, but that specific field by itself, how were you able to, duke it out if that was your strong suit already?
I knew I was going to be a scientist since I was 5 years old.
Okay.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So who are some scientists you looked up to, if any?
Carl Sagan. Do you guys know Carl Sagan?
Come on now, Cosmos.
Yeah, Cosmos, man.
yeah.
Carl Sagan was, this dude was smooth as hell, and he like really made it simple for kids to understand.
Can I share a side thing about Carl Sagan?
Of course.
When I was taking astronomy, my favorite episode is when he cut that apple pie.
Oh, that's crazy. So, my favorite episode was Flatlands, when he was talking about 3D and 4D dimensions of like Earth and planes and stuff like that. You got to check it out.
Okay.
Super old. I mean, it's just PBS before even PBS Kids. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I got another question for you regarding your education and all that. So when did you graduate out of Nebraska?
2016.
2016?
9 years ago now.
Ooh, how's it feel?
It felt like yesterday. I mean, like I was thinking back on it. I'm like, damn, that was 9 years ago.
So how'd you that transition? You was able to adjust into the medical field.
Yeah. So my background is kind of strange. So bioanalytical chemistry, what is that, right? So basically, you don't only do chemistry, you do biology, but you also do statistics, you do programming. So it's very interdisciplinary. It's a lot of different things that go on there. So it was like an easy transition. When I got out of school, I went to go work for a startup at a university. It didn't work out, but we were doing early stage ovarian cancer tools. So I left there, came back to Detroit. I wrote a grant and started working for another university-based startup here at Wayne State. After that, so money gets tight when you're working for these startups. So I had to get a real job. I started helping companies get FDA approval at a medical research company. And then I moved into starting my own company. I built basically from a coffee shop, like just with ideas and kind of researching and putting teams together and things like that.
How difficult was that to do?
I mean, shit, I'm still doing it. It's challenging and rewarding every day. It's hard, but as long as you stay on the path, like you're gonna reach success. So it's not really hard. You know what I mean? It's challenging because you never know where you're gonna end up. And any given day, like you up against it, right? You always gotta raise money. You always gotta like be developing things. So like you don't know where it's gonna fall, so it's scary. But you gotta have that faith that it's gonna all work out. So
now I do want to retrogress back into your earlier story when you say your grandfather was in the hospital and he got infected. Was there any legal action on that?
No, because hospital-related infections. So in safety net hospitals, these are hospitals that normally service brown and black people, or like lower socioeconomic people, right? Government funded. 1 out of 15 people that walk in there for treatment is going to get one of these hospital-related infections. It's not necessarily the fault of the hospital. It's just the way it is. They're understaffed and overworked, and these infections can just spread, even if they do all the proper precautions. That's why we wanted to come in and actually give an extra layer of precautions. Okay. So there's not any legal actions behind that, right? Because imagine, how do you prove this, right? How do you say, oh, this is the reason why he died, right? They can just say anything. So it would be insane to try to take legal action against them. We wouldn't win that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, that happens so many times going unproven. Like, how people have a hunch. Like, wait a minute, something went right. We were just talking to this person yesterday. How did all of a sudden this happened today?
Yeah. So even if, what you can prove is that these infections actually cause extended stays in hospitals. So like 10 extra days just for treatment and things like that. But also it costs the hospitals a lot of money. If you get a hospital-related infection, the hospitals are required to actually treat you for that. Not insurance, not you. It's like $40,000 per patient. So
they'll treat you, but will they also bill you afterwards?
No, they can't bill you. It's their responsibility. So they want to solve this problem too, but it's about how we solve it, right? So that's why you need startups to develop new technologies to start actually solve this kind of problem.
That's kind of off topic, but how do you feel about just midwives and back in the day when doctors usually actually go to the houses of the people? Do you feel like that should come back?
Nah, I can't really speak to that. I never thought about that. That's actually a great question. I mean, like that was a thing for years, but
you mean like a house doctor?
Yeah, house doctor, the home visit doctors.
Yeah, I mean, like for certain things, but like there's a lot of things that you can't do at home, so we got to be super careful in like trying to go back with technology. I think we should advance. That's my own thoughts. So
now there's something else I want to. Did you have a question?
I actually did. I just want to know. I want to go back to your childhood for a minute. You said at the age of 5 you wanted to be a chemist.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. I didn't know what a chemist was. I just knew I wanted to be a scientist.
Okay.
You just want the label.
No, not the label. I knew I wanted to know what the universe was about, and I thought the only way you could do that was through science.
Yeah, you're definitely a Carl Sagan type guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Neil deGrasse Tyson? What's your opinion of him? Just as, I'm sorry, I'm going.
No, I mean, the dude's smart. Like he's extremely smart, but I mean, now he's moving away from like just pure science to actually communicating that with the people, and I think is needed.
What about Bill Nye, the science guy?
I love that guy.
Yeah, so we all grew up on Bill Nye, right? How can you ever disrespect the great Bill? Again, anybody that promotes science to the everyday person, I love them.
Man, put some respect on Bill Nye's name, man. Y'all out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, another one too is Beekman's World. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember Beekman with the rad and everything, right? Yeah, Beekman. I mean, it was 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, come on. That was a classic.
Yeah.
But you know, you got a question for you?
No, my question, I kind of did want to go back into 2020, if you want to speak on that at all.
Yeah. So COVID in general, but 2021 was when my grandfather died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't COVID related. It was just he hit his head. I was in Vegas actually hanging out. He hit his head, and you know how black guys are. They don't want to go to the doctor. I finally convinced him to go. And when I convinced him, he ended up not coming out. So imagine how I felt.
Yeah,
right?
right.
I felt a lot of guilt behind that because I'm like, hey, you need to go get this checked out. I thought it might be some cognitive disorder or something like that because he kind of felt dizzy and hit his head. I wish I wouldn't have told him to go, just to be honest, right? I mean, because that's on me. That's why I'm trying to solve this problem so nobody else feel that kind of pain.
And you know what? I want to say this too. When it comes to that, I know plenty of people that, like you said, they'll go in, just to get treated, and all of a sudden, like, I feel woozy. You know what I mean? I know with your startup, you're trying to prevent that, but what are other things people can do, to wash themselves or, to really protect themselves from that type of situation?
Yeah, so protecting yourself from that type of situation is extremely hard, but I mean, it's important for people to understand that, like, your family also carries germs, so all the hugging and kissing, maybe we need to be a little bit more careful and make sure everything's sterile as much as possible. Masks are always like a great way to prevent a lot of this stuff, and just be super active if you're a family member with the nursing staff and doctor staff to show that, hey, these people have love and we actually care. That's really important because, like, we're all human and we know when we got advocates for us, people treat us a little bit better. So
Facts.
So how do you feel about certain cleaning agents and products that are like natural products that'll clean a surface better? I'm not gonna say better than Lysol, but are competing with Lysol.
Like what?
You got like bleach, you got Lysol, but then you got, I think her name is Mrs. something. It's supposed to be a natural cleaning agent.
Yeah, I wouldn't know nothing about her cleaning agent. I would have to see what it is and things like that. But bleach is amazing. One thing about these cleaning agents, though, what people don't realize is they have instructions. You don't just put bleach on a countertop and wipe it off and think that everything's sterile. Actually, you're supposed to let it sit for about 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. So if you look on the back of the bit,
I don't read it.
Exactly. Nobody reads it, right? So a lot of times, right, we think something is sterile or clean, and what happens is it's actually not because we didn't follow the instructions. So it's really important to understand that these bacteria and germs, they're not just going to die because you hit them with a cleaning agent. You know what I mean? So imagine if you just spray them with Lysol, that they're not automatically going to die. It has to sit and actually disrupt a lot of these biological processes.
Can I go back to 2020 for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to know, what are some of the things that people were misinformed about, that time period when it came to COVID?
Yeah, that was a really strange, super strange time period, right? I mean, initially they told us not to wear masks and things like that. And I understood the logic behind it, right? Because in America, we never been familiar with like any kind of pandemic or anything like that in the last, 120, 130 years. Yeah. So the number's a bit off, but the point is that nobody knew what was going on. I think we got it under control really fast with the mask. I think that was great. The distancing and things like that, I think all these corrective actions were really important. But what's most important is people don't realize this. Most germs are not airborne. Most are spread on surfaces. Now, a surface could be liquid from your mouth if you like sneeze or cough or something like that. But what happened a lot of times is we would touch things and then touch our face, touch our nose, our mouth, and we would actually infect ourselves by touching surfaces and then putting it to our face. Germs don't have legs.
Or just touch other people.
Or touch other people.
That's why I like to do head nods or fist pounds because I'm a slight germophobic, so
okay.
I wear long sleeves a lot. I'm always touching doorknobs with the long sleeves.
Yeah.
Also, I got another question for you. What is your opinion about mRNA technology?
Yeah, so this technology isn't new. I think a lot of people think that the whole vaccines with the mRNA are new. They're not. I think it's a great technology. I think there's still some proving out to do, but we see that a lot of the vaccines work. Now, any implications behind that, right? I won't get into conspiracy theory because I'm a scientist. So first I hypothesize, then test. And if I didn't test, I won't make any statements about what actually happened from this technology. So
you yourself personally haven't worked with mRNA technology personally?
no, I haven't personally worked with it, but I mean, as a scientist, we read all these different type of publications and things like that.
Got you.
But yeah.
Now, is that something you're interested in working with in the future, or?
Not right now. Right now, we're on the mission of just kind of solving this whole infection problem, and we're doing this through detection. So we are detecting things like DNA, things like metabolites and proteins to build fingerprints of organisms, and then these fingerprints can be matched against our database using machine learning and AI, and then it actually tells you whether or not you got a positive hit on that disease. So imagine like you have a fingerprint. If you left your fingerprint somewhere, it's unique to you. Anywhere in the world, I can search that fingerprint and find out it's you. It's the same way for germs.
Is it to a degree the same technology? I think they came out with a fingernail polish where a girl can put her finger in a drink to see if somebody roofied it. Is it like that same technology? It's reactive to...
It's not, but that is really cool technology, right? So that's just like a chemical reaction, which is it just reacts with like specifically whatever rooflin is, that molecule, and you get this color reaction of some sort. That's super cool technology. It's not the same. It's more, imagine just fingerprinting like a blood draw almost. They give you a panel of different things that's in your blood. What we're doing is we're just lysing the bacteria cells, and now we're building out this panel, but we're not reporting the panel to you. We're searching it against our database. And then it tells you whether or not that same profile matches in our database. If it does, then we say we have a positive ID. If it doesn't, then we say we don't have a positive ID.
And you said it's rapid, so about how long?
It's minutes. So a lot of this technology, a lot of this stuff exists, right? So they do pathogen detection a lot with like PCR specifically. But it could take hours or days. That's a big problem. So we're trying to move it down to minutes. There are some limitations with that currently, specifically like processing limitations and like how fast can you actually grow up cells and things like that. So these limitations everybody has them, but there's techniques to kind of overcome it. So we're trying to do this pathogen detection with under 10 minutes.
Now, is accuracy an issue with this? With it being under 10 minutes, or will it still...
Yeah.
The most part.
So let's talk about what already exists, right? They have these larger technologies. The difference between the large technology that's in lab base and our technology is just size. Our accuracy is not where it should be, but we're still in prototyping phase, right? We only had a few 100,000 to kind of build out our prototype. As we go along and we raise more capital, we'll be able to get our accuracy up to the gold standard, like what's currently in market.
You know, I got a question since you said that. How do you raise capital, for what you do?
Man, that's the I don't know. You tell me. you know somebody?
Hey.
So what we started off with is writing grants. So we actually wrote a grant to the National Science Foundation. We wrote something called SBIR. It's a Small Business Innovation Research Grant.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's super rare. I'm actually the second Black person not associated with a university in Detroit to get one of these. And I'm actually the only Detroiter not associated with a university to get one of these. So it was actually historic to like bring that home for Detroit. Currently, we're writing a $2 million grant. It should be in June 10th. I think I'm pretty positive we'll get it. That's a lot of capital. But sometimes you have to go out and actually raise venture capital from people who believe in you in a sense, but they also think they can make money off your company. Then you can do something called angel capital, which is similar to venture, but just kind of like a different structure. Angel normally come first and then venture. So, you can raise capital from people directly.
So these are the type of people like the Bill Gates, people like that?
Yeah, so the Bill Gates, those guys are actually, they're doing a lot of nonprofit work, and they do a lot of grants and stuff. So Bill Gates is actually somebody that probably would be interested in this work. But the difference is that you got to worry about their thesis. Right now, a lot of Bill Gates' thesis is off continent. So he's worried about a lot of places like Africa and things like underdeveloped countries. So a lot of times their grants and things are geared towards that. So
So that's interesting because when we hear about Bill Gates going to Africa or going into India or something like that, we always wonder like, what the hell are they doing over there?
I mean,
Yeah,
I got
No.
different
yeah.
views.
We're not gonna say what.
But
yeah,
we're not going
it's
into that.
hard to speculate on somebody else. But so people like Peter Thiel, for instance. So Peter Thiel was a guy who actually worked with Elon Musk at PayPal, and he's a big time investor out in Silicon Valley. So these the kind of people that you're thinking about, like on a large scale when you talk about venture capital.
now, where would people go to contribute to what you got going on? Financially contribute.
Yeah.
And
So
what's the and is there a minimum or maximum? Well, no maximum, I'm sure.
yeah, so that looks a little bit different. We're not doing like a Kickstarter or anything where we're getting money directly from people. But what they could do is email me and I could send them some documentation on how they can help. So if we can drop my email in the chat, website in the chat.
Or you can say it now if you like.
Say it now.
Yeah,
I'll have it in the description.
Okay, dmarshall at totalanalysususa.com. Email me and then I'll get you all the information you need.
Sounds good. Now, is there anybody that you would like to work with personally when it comes to your work?
Yeah, I mean, I want to work with whoever wants to solve this problem in reality, right? I mean, so the idea of just working with a specific person is it's not like that. I want to work with like super motivated people to like end the suffering and people that don't have to suffer.
Have you ever heard of a gentleman by the name of Dr. Lane Rawling?
I don't know him.
You don't know him? Okay, I was just wondering.
No.
He's
Tell
the
me about him.
top. He passed away like 2 or 3 years ago mysteriously, but he's one of the top virologists in the world, and he was kind of speaking out against COVID when it was occurring. He just said it doesn't make sense. He was like, by the time you get vaccinated, it's pointless because it already would have mutated and evolved. So all the jabs didn't make sense to him.
Yeah.
And he was like, you couldn't. He had more accredited. He was more accredited than Dr. Fauci, but nobody wanted to really listen to him.
Yeah, so, the thing about science is we have to be super careful with opinions. There are scientific fact, and then there are opinions of people. Now, remember, you can't prove anything. You can only fail to disprove. So, yeah, there is some aspect of, like, think about the flu shot, right? I mean, there's a new flu strain every year, right? But they say because you have specific antibodies, it's less likely to be as harmful to you as other antibodies. So whether that's right or wrong, that's not really my space. Again, I'm in the detection space.
No,
I'm
I
not in the,
understand.
yeah.
What about
I was
natural immunities? How do you just randomly feel about natural immunity?
I mean,
As far as people who don't got to get vaccinated for polio, some people just are under the guise or the belief that babies are born ready for the world. They don't need any vaccinations at all.
I mean, well, let's look at history. I got a question for you. How likely were you to die before vaccinations?
I got a different. I don't want to answer that, but I do have a different belief.
No, it's fine if you believe that, right? I'm not saying whether or not vaccinations are bad, whether they cause any kind of disease or anything like that. But we have to admit that vaccinations, there is some aspect of vaccinations that are most definitely helpful to people. Because you think about like a polio or some of these different diseases that were wiping people out. Yeah, natural immunity may be a thing, but how many people are you going to wipe out to get to that point?
I got different beliefs on certain things.
I got a question for you now. Are there any vaccines or vaccinations that you kind of side-eyed about? Like, I don't know about this one.
See, I'm not an expert on vaccinations.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I don't misspeak and I can give an opinion about it. But I'm not getting the flu vaccination. I know that. Like,
nobody is.
Yeah. So I mean, like, unless I think it's gonna absolutely devastate the world, I'm very careful about what I put in my body specifically. So
Now, do you know the other person who got the grant?
Oh, yeah. Javier from Allergen. This dude's a great dude. He works on, he had a peanut allergy and he built a device that comes out of a cell phone, like an EpiPen, to kind of like prevent that. So, yeah. This dude's amazing too.
Sound like almost like a vape when you think about it. Because everybody carries around a vape and all of a sudden you have it in the phone.
Like just hit your leg, right? That's fire.
Now, when you were in college, I just tap in on college for a second. Was there any, did you want to go join a fraternity or anything? Or you were just...
No, that's not my thing. I'm just kind of like one of those loner guys that kind of... Dude, I'm a nonconformist, right? I mean...
Yeah, as we all should be.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So my thing is nothing against the fraternities they fire. I didn't see the value at the time. Now that I'm a little older, I understand like networks and stuff like that. But at that time, I was just like doing my own thing.
Now, I got a question about you about college. I got 2 questions.
Okay.
How was college life at the University of Nebraska?
Well, so when I went to the University of Nebraska, man, I was a little older. I was in graduate school.
Okay, so you weren't undergrad at all.
No, not there. I was undergrad at Wayne State, but it was fire.
What was fire about it?
Nebraska was one of those small towns where everybody can know you, and it was just a lot of love, man. Low stress. Coming from Detroit, sometimes it can be stressful living here. And I got a funny story. So I bought old school, like a 71 Monte Carlo. Had the rims on it. It was Lions Blue Fire, right? I seen a bunch of kids. I just had moved there, and I seen a bunch of kids like staring inside my car. I went off.
What do you mean, little kids?
No, man, like teenagers, like college kids. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm tripping because, if we see that here in Detroit, especially back then, like, what y'all trying? What's going on here?
Right.
And the guy was like, man, we're just like the car at school. We're looking at it. And at that moment, I realized I had to reframe the way that I thought in this area compared to being from the city. So it was super relaxed, man. I had a lot of friends there. Very lovely place. So
now I have one more question. I gotta ask you this question. You seem like a football type person.
I'm a okay, go to my Facebook, right? We know what we about to get at, right?
Okay.
Michigan State plays Nebraska, right? My first year there.
Okay.
Michigan State gets crushed. If you see my face on my Facebook, you'll see what fan I am.
You're not a U of M fan at all?
Yeah, I'm a U of M.
Okay,
but State first for sure. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Look at the kicks though, man.
Y'all see the kicks, but still, hey, we go blue. Hey, I'm a go blue man. That's why I had to ask you.
Yeah.
But it's all good though. You had another question you want to ask me?
I did want to can I list off some of the diseases and just get your opinion of them, if you might have one at all?
Okay.
Ebola.
Extremely dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Very deadly, and to be taken serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it got released here in America allegedly like 7 or 8 years ago down in Texas or something, but they caught it quick. Yeah. Luckily, because it would have wiped out a bunch of
So it's interesting though that we seem to have a outbreak scare every few years. So
yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but what I will tell you, and this is from a scientist, we better be super careful because the next pandemic may be bacterial. There was a world before antibiotics that bacteria could like wipe you out. Have you guys ever played? What was that game? Oregon Trails?
Yeah, yeah.
Remember you would go
that was
through,
on the old Mac. I remember.
Yeah, yeah. You would go through the river and get listeria, and you get a cut and you pass away.
Mm-hmm, I remember that.
That was a reality for a lot of people because bacteria used to kill people before antibiotics. Now we're getting this antibiotic resistance with things like MRSA. We don't create new antibiotics very often. We've created maybe 2 in the last 20 years.
Right.
So what does that mean for the human population as these bacteria gain resistance? They're becoming super bugs.
Now, before you go on to your next question, I got to ask you this. Now, I know you're not an expert or nothing like that, but it's been hearsay that another quote-unquote pandemic is on the way.
I hope not.
That's what I just talked about.
I know. I know.
What is going on?
No.
What's going on here?
Now, I want to talk about the name of this one.
Okay.
The name of this one is so-called Disease X. Now, I don't know if you heard that name or not.
See, I like, okay, the issue is, right, it's not that I'm not an expert in the sense that I don't know anything about these things, but the thing is I like to stay away from things until I can, like, kind of prove them out because the internet is a place full of wonder.
Yeah. Because
you have to be super careful what you speak on because there's a lot of misinformation. Yeah. And I could not give out misinformation about something like that.
Right, because, the conspiracy mind, it could go left, right, up, down, all that stuff.
It can. And they can put sauce on it. So even if it's real, it's hard to believe, right? So
Facts.
So I just want to, let's just do SARS next.
Yeah, so SARS, like you see what COVID did, right? That's a similar strain of SARS and things like that. So all of that was a SARS strain, right? It's a common cold kind of strain. But I mean, we got like kind of the worst of that so far. And that was like with the COVID. So, I mean, that shut down the world for like 3 or 4 years and still we haven't quite recovered. So super problematic. most definitely we need things like vaccines, antivirals, and things like that.
Or do you have like a top 3 that are like just the most deadliest that you really don't want?
I'm gonna
I know
surprise
Ebola
you.
is probably one though.
I'm gonna surprise you. Tuberculosis. So here in America, that's not a thing, right? We're very lucky. The rest of the world, that's super dangerous. People are getting wiped out by TB. That's a big problem. And back to the antibiotic resistance, as bacteria become antibiotic resistant, a resistant strain of TB would be deadly. So that's like my number one. It's a huge
What are
problem.
the symptoms?
Coughing. Basically, your lungs will fill up with fluid and you'll choke yourself to death. TB will like wipe you out. Now people live with it longer, but as these things mutate and get reintroduced to a population that has resistance to it, it can be super dangerous. Of course, good old HIV, right? That's problematic. I mean, they do have like a lot of these PrEP pills and stuff like that, but it's still extremely dangerous. And like that's one of the ones where we have to be extremely careful with. The good thing about that is it's less likely for us to get it. We can kind of control how we interact with people. And of course, the flu. I know I talked about not getting a flu vaccine, but the flu throughout history has been a devastator. I mean, it really wipes people out.
Yeah.
Here in the U.S., we've done really good things to make sure that flus don't like kill people, but they're still super dangerous. So,
Facts.
top 3.
Okay.
Well, you know, I also see that you have a background in STEM as well.
Yeah. So,
And what is it an acronym?
yeah, science, technology,
Technology.
engineering, math.
And as far as STEM goes, I see that you're empowering the youth, with STEM programs. What got you started in that?
Yeah, so I met a good friend of mine now named Dr. Lightfoot. He had a company called Math for Success. He was doing math tutoring and SAT prep and things like that. So we met at a coffee shop and we started really talking, and I was interested in I was helping out like at the Freck Center with the Detroit Police and things like that. I'm like, it'd be cool if I could actually come back and start integrating into like DPS and like do these STEM projects with kids, like let them experience science firsthand. So we started working together for like 3 years. We put together all type of after school programs. We put together summer camps at UD Mercy, and it was just like really cool. I haven't been doing it for the last year, like the programming and things like that, but I still help out with like STEM development and stuff like that.
Now, coming from a teaching background such as yourself, I never been a science, mathematical type person. If a person really want to learn the subject, and have a passion for mathematics and stuff like that, how would you teach them or, motivate them to learn?
Yeah, so I think the reason why most of us aren't mathematic people because we don't understand what math is. And I think when we start looking at it as a language to explain like the world, then we think a little different. Are you a gambler?
Not much.
No.
Oh, not at all. So you guys don't FanDuel or nothing?
Not that much.
Rarely.
No.
Okay, but you did it, right?
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
On FanDuel, they have odds. What are those odds? Statistics, right?
So, yeah.
They're just math, right? So once you understand the math behind things, you give yourself an edge on winning. If you really understand what these statistics mean, you're like, okay, they're giving me a 1 in 3 odds, right? The 33% chance. But you're like, this team is down LeBron and Luka, so I know realistically I probably got a 66% chance to win because I know these guys only score so many points, right? So if you use math in a way to like describe the world, you can make yourself a winner. And that's how I kind of look at math. I look at math like, what is this equation telling me and what can I do with it? Yeah.
I do want to know, what do some of your published articles consist of, and how many do you have?
Damn, dude, I probably have anywhere from like 25 to 30. It's a lot of different stuff. There's some really niche stuff where it's like instrumentation. There's some stuff in there focused on infectious diseases. There's things in there focused on antibiotic development. They had like a really wide range of different things. So
In Cooley, did you have to cut open a pig when you went to Cooley?
dude, you know what? And you did that in Mr. Daxon class.
No,
didn't you?
I had the short lady. I can't remember what her name
okay.
was. No, I remember Mr. Daxon. I did have his class, though.
It wasn't Miss Myers, but
the short black lady. She was light skinned. I can't remember her name.
yeah, maybe she wasn't there when I was there. But
No,
I never did that. That was anatomy. That used to smell bad.
It smelled horrible because we was
Terrible.
cutting it open for like a week and a half.
Yeah, that was
Then
terrible.
we had a field trip where we went to the actual morgue, and somebody passed away that day, and then it was bad.
Yeah, that's
It was
crazy.
bad. His family showed up, and
I tried to sneak on that trip. Daxon put me on.
so
What, to
you
go
got
to the
on the
morgue?
trip?
Yeah, no, I wasn't in the class. I tried to sneak on the trip. I was on a bus. They stopped the bus and put me off.
So they caught you. That's what happened.
Yeah, but he caught me after the bus already took off. I thought I was home free.
How far were you away when they
Not
caught you?
that far. Like, I mean, a couple blocks. I just walked
Did
home.
you express interest in the trip prior?
No, I was a last minute kind of guy.
Oh
so.
man, because I'm sure he would have let you on if you would express interest. prior.
Probably, man.
Now, I got another question, unrelated topic. Artificial intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's not going nowhere. It's here to stay. What are your personal thoughts about it?
Yeah, now we're getting into something good. So, as far as what? Because I got a lot of personal thoughts on this.
Let's start with the general thoughts of artificial technology when it comes to doing, replacing a lot of, I want to say
Workforce.
replacing, but, in the workforce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so at one time we all rode horses and buggies. At one time, you had wood cobblers that did the bottoms of shoes. At one time, you didn't have the conveyor belts. That's what happens. Technology is always going to change the way the workforce looks. And when it comes to replacing jobs, that I wouldn't be so worried about necessarily replacing jobs. It's going to basically transform the way jobs are made. Because in reality, right, we have a society, so we're going to make jobs. I mean, look at the streamers. I mean, this 20 years ago, this wasn't a thing. This is literally a job now. So technology just transforms jobs. So I'm not so worried about like gloom and doom when it comes to AI. There are some major problems, specifically when it comes to large corporations and like them siloing AI for themselves. We need to be extremely curious about like, why are we passing certain bills and stuff like that? But I mean, like, I'm all for AI.
So what do you think about people like Sam Altman? You do want to take it all the way there when it comes to AI?
Yeah, I got a question for you. You think Sam is the biggest player?
I don't know the rest, but I'm sure it's always
I
somebody
think-
above him.
I think there's much. I mean, who invested in OpenAI?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you got billions of dollars to dump into a company, like who are bigger players than Sam? Sam's a guy. No disrespect to him because he did amazing things. The guy's only 40 years old. But I mean, like, yeah. Sometimes what happens is the machine becomes bigger than you.
Because I've seen machines bug out on people before, act out on certain type of folks.
Yeah.
Now, have you heard of a company called Boston Dynamics?
Of course.
What do you think about them?
Man, they got some crazy technology, and war is gonna look a lot different in the future. Hopefully, those don't become police robots, right?
I was gonna say in Dubai, I heard they got police robots over there.
That's
That's
dangerous.
one thing I don't think you should. I think you should always keep AI out of police force. Because I feel like that's when y'all going too far.
Yeah.
Once you implement that.
Well, one thing I will say is that there's social aspects here too. I think they've had a lot of things in other countries that we don't have here because of social aspects, right? And it's not a monolith. It's going to be like extremely different from place to place. So it's about us to be advocates for ourselves to make sure. We are the people, right? At the end of the day, we say yes, we say no.
Now, would you ever get a robot in your house?
Ah, shit, no. Nah. Dude, I'm not even that big of a fan of pets, man. What do you mean?
I'm just saying, you never know, because some people think about doing that, how that do the day-to-day every day.
Yeah, nah, I'm okay, man. I like my full autonomy. I don't even have one of those Alexas.
Because you remember 30 years ago, during the Jets, no, I'll say longer than that. During the Jetsons, we thought we were going to be flying around in cars.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't so far off.
No, it's not.
It ain't so far off.
Now we got cars. Well, it's been a thing. Cars run on water now.
Yeah. That's been a thing for a long time, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. But we already know the story behind that.
Do we?
Well, speculation. I'm
There
not about
we
to
go.
get into it.
So what's fire about these podcasts that I love is that the viewpoints that you have may actually be true, but we need to support them with like real.
We can't prove it. Yeah, well,
You can't prove
the
anything,
realm,
but you
the
can
realm
support.
of hypothetical is
Yeah.
very entertaining.
Look, you can't prove, but you can support with fact.
Right.
And enough fact, then you got to say that's probably what's going on.
Yeah.
you know what I like about you?
What?
You the type, you the person that would come in and say, "Hey, still, what type of fact do you have behind it?" Instead of going out there and say it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
because we all need that type of person right there. Like, hey,
It ain't as entertaining. It's entertaining when somebody hop on and just talk crazy. But I mean, in reality, I like to I'm conscious of like, you know, like reporting things and people believing you, and I want to be super careful with that. So
Right.
yeah.
So, you know. Also, too, I want to know one more thing. I know you got your doctors, but you ever thought about, since you got a background in teaching, be a professor about what you do?
Yeah, and so I'm actually I'm teaching at the University of Michigan next year. We're gonna do a entrepreneurship class for like scientists, basically for hard tech people.
Okay.
So it's a big disconnect between people like in the science realm or the engineering realm and actually starting companies. Normally, those aren't the guys that start the companies, right? It's some MBA that like runs the company and things like that, and that's
Right.
partly because of the way we're trained. What I'm trying to do is train a new generation of scientists and engineers to learn how to actually communicate that in an entrepreneurship way with being honest.
So, bottom line, would you be fair to say you got to have a passion for this type of stuff in order to succeed in it?
You just gotta have a passion for the problem. You just gotta want to solve the problem. You gotta have a hate. So I talk to a lot of my buddies about this, right? You gotta hate something so much that you're willing to forgo any kind of success. You're willing to forgo any kind of like comfort. You just hate this so much you want to just go hard at it. But then what you find out is you do get wore down. So then you gotta like love something so much to where you say, I'm gonna keep going. I love what I do. So
You got a question for me?
I did have another question, kind of on a different topic. There are a lot of kids who didn't grow up like you want to be a scientist. Most, especially black kids, from my opinion. What do you feel like society needs to implement for us to want to be a scientist, want us to be a doctor, want us to be high achievers? Or do you think it's just...
no, so
I know we're not just meant for the entertainment and basketball. And, you know.
no, I mean, yeah, no doubt. I mean, look at what black people can do.
Yeah.
What can't we do?
Yeah, we've done it all.
Right. I mean, under extreme hostile environment, we were able to do this, right? Because I grew up in the hood. I mean, for me to become a scientist, it took a lot of like reprogramming, but it just took a passion and not buying in. I think what we need to implement is more free thought. I think it's really important for us to chase our passions and not be embarrassed by what other people think. Because, dude, I liked anime back in the early 2000s. That wasn't a thing, right? I liked science back then. That wasn't a thing. If I would have let people tell me, oh, you're a nerd or something's wrong with you because you like this, I wouldn't have did it.
But I'm still sure you had actual hood friends who still understood you and were cool with you. Everybody, for the most part, had somebody like that.
Oh, bro, I was one of the cool kids.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that side of you was a secret?
No, it wasn't a secret.
Okay.
I did my own thing, right? Now, did everybody know that I was actually like smart? Who knows, right? Because I was silly and it was a bunch of us and we played basketball, all the normal stuff, right? So I was gifted enough to be able to also have friends. But what I'm saying is that those friends still made jokes.
Yeah.
I could have folded and been like, oh no, that's not what I want to do. I could have hid who I am. I didn't. I was just me.
You wasn't the shy nerd that like depicted.
No.
You wasn't that type of guy.
No, never.
Yeah, because they like to implement like the nerd is shy, dorky, goofy.
That's some make believe shit. Now it
That's
happens,
Hollywood,
but,
dog.
Yeah. But the thing is it's really important to have your own North Star. Do what you want to do. Don't let anybody else tell you not to do that, right? So we need to implement free thought and saying, hey, look, you don't have to dress like this person. And I think Gen Z is doing a good job at that. But now the later Gen Zs, I see they're starting to fall into trends but early on, Gen Z is like, shit, I'm going to do what I'm passionate about.
Facts.
And I think that's the only way that we can solve it, because we shouldn't be pushing people to do things that they're not passionate about.
So I got to know, do you still watch anime?
I do.
What's your favorite? Or your top 3 if you can name them?
I'll go Hunter.
Thank you.
Fire.
Oh, the new season about to drop.
See, I don't know about that, bro. I've been waiting too long.
No,
I'll go Attack on Titan. I'll go Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan. All right,
Fire,
my man.
Fire.
I don't know why you say it that.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him. Man.
And I gotta go classic Naruto.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nah. I'm gonna take that. Yu Yu Hakusho. Old school. This is how you know you can separate the two, right?
Now, have you seen?
A bunch of shows did off of Yu Yu.
For sure.
So, yeah.
That was one of the first shonen. So
Now, since you're an old school dude, I know you saw that movie Fist of the North Star.
yeah, of course.
That's classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Wasn't a big fan of that, man. That was goofy.
And why you say that?
It was just goofy, man. Like, I don't know, the animation style back then was a little too old, even back then for me.
Well, I know I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I can still sit
My
back
bad.
and watch it.
Art is subjective.
Let me give you a movie. I feel like you watched this movie. Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah, for sure.
What you think of that?
Trash.
What?
Yeah, trash.
Whoa, why?
I mean,
you're the first person ever.
Yeah, I mean, action scene. I like plots,
too
man. I like deeper. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a Inception, Matrix kind of guy. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at.
So did you like any one of the Matrix after the original?
Yeah, I really like the last one.
A lot of people disagree.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know, man.
I don't like Kung Fu Hustle.
That's me
You
being
like
a
Matrix?
nonconformist. But hey, when you understand how meta that movie was, right? Like, this dude was doing a big FU to everybody that made him do that movie, because they said they were going to do it without him, or whatever, the person, they were going to do it without them, and then they said, hey, we'll do the movie, but the whole movie was a big FU to the industry. How dope is that? So
so that's what you liked about it, not the actual plot.
I mean, the plot was kind of shaky, but the point is that once you understood how meta the movie was and all of the tropes that it was playing off of, it was dope.
So are you a Terminator type person?
I am.
Which one's your favorite?
2. Come on.
Okay, all right.
Come on, man.
Okay, we can rock with that.
Shout out Sophia Stewart. You did both movies,
Yep.
despite what other people say.
Because I keep telling people 2 is the classic. Nothing against 1, but it got to be that 2.
It's got to be that too.
But you know what? Even with that, it showed AI, movies like that, iRobot, stuff like that. So really, what they call it, predictive programming, if we want to go down that road, they told you what they got or working on.
So you say you like Inception and Matrix. Give me like 5 of your favorite movies, or just movies you feel like are the deepest. Because I ain't go for Inception. I understood it, but it was right there. It's like, dang, I'm starting not to understand it.
You know what, man? I'm not good with movie names, but I'll give you 5 of my favorite.
Okay.
So we'll go Matrix, Inception. I'm gonna say my favorite for last. I'm gonna go Harlem Nights, of course. Classic. I'm gonna go Life. Life is fire.
You just made the best friend right here.
What kind of pies you want, bro?
I'm about to turn y'all into nigga pie.
Hilarious, right? But then I'm gonna go Escape from Alcatraz. Old school classic.
Now, that's not the one with Kevin Bacon, is it?
No, Clint Eastwood.
Oh, the one that was made back in the 70s. I remember that one.
Yeah, so that was one of my favorite. I'm not a Shawshank man. I'm more of a Escape from Alcatraz guy.
That is a good movie.
Yeah.
But if we want to talk about movies, my number 1 movie is Friday.
Okay.
And number 2 is Life.
Okay, I ain't mad at that.
What about Revolver? You ever seen that?
I have seen it. You got to remind me of the plot though.
Oh, Jason Statham. He was like Jason Statham, Andre 3000, the guy who passed away. I can't think of his name. It's hard to explain it. Pretty much, he got out of jail and he was on a vengeance to take a bunch of money from a guy who owned a casino.
So every Jason Statham movie ever.
No, this one is different. This one is different.
Like literally every last one that he ever. No, so I've seen that movie though.
This is Guy Ritchie. You know, Guy Ritchie, his style is just one of my favorite directors.
Yeah, I got a question for you. You know what, dude? I can't believe I did this. Belly. I got to replace. Damn,
no, you only said 4 originally.
No, I said 5. I said 5.
Now why Belly?
I mean, Hype Williams was crazy. DMX, crazy. It was just an era, a time.
We had some interesting thoughts on this podcast that's been said about Belly.
Okay, I hopefully it was only good thoughts. Who hated it?
Your boy.
What was the problem with Belly? I mean, what
did he say was the problem with it? He said He said Nas should never act again. The plot didn't make any sense.
Yeah, he did. He said it was a long music video.
It was
Method Man got shot up close range with a shotgun while he's intoxicated and still escaped from the cops, which I definitely agree with that one. And then he said the one dude, you remember the lady jumped down with a knife?
She jumped, yeah. And
that was supposed to be the play to Scarface. Yeah.
But still, he's like, no way. But I'm like, sometimes you got to understand, movie. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of. It's just different.
Belly wasn't supposed to be realistic, man. They went from not having any money to becoming drug kingpins in 3 scenes. I mean, like, come on. It's a microcosm for an era, man. Like what that era was, Belly encompassed that whole era.
You know what? It was definitely different for its time.
Yeah.
It was definitely, and like you said before, you had all the top rappers during that time in that movie.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like DMX wasn't an actor either. He did great.
He acted in more than one film
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
for
After
sure.
that, yeah.
I mean, major blockbusters too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jet Li. He was
Cradle to the Grave.
Yep.
All that stuff.
What's the one with Aaliyah? Jet Li and Aaliyah?
Romeo Must Die.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah. See, I'm a movie buff. That's how I know. But I got one more thing before we transition to another topic. What do you think about the Boondocks?
Fire.
Yeah,
Up
okay.
into like season, what is it, 4?
Yeah, we're not gonna count that. Aaron Magruder wasn't even on the cast then.
Once he sold it, I was done. I never watched anything after he sold it.
I mean, hilarious. Favorite episode?
Which one? You got one?
Oh, you're asking us
Yeah,
ours?
yeah.
Ooh, it was so many good ones.
Catcher Freeman probably.
Catcher Freeman. Okay,
I
fire.
like that. I like that.
I remember the episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say with me is Me Time and Usher.
Oh, with the wife. The wife, that
And
was
that's
hilarious.
based off a true story.
I know. That's why it's so funny.
Yeah.
I like the Felice Johnson one.
Felice Johnson, yeah, that's
Hilarious.
Felice
That's an interesting
Johnson.
guy, man.
Boy, I tell you,
That was based off a true story.
I know, well, you see, doing 20 versus 1s now.
yeah. Which
he's a millionaire,
Man, hey, look, this is how you know we're in a simulation, man.
bro. Did we not just say this the other
Guy
day?
is fake.
This is how you know. I mean, like, come on, what is going on? Everything they told us is wrong.
Hey, what's down is up and up is down.
Man, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
2 + 2 = 5, man.
Yikes! That's
some
all I gotta
people,
say. So let me ask you: since you already, discussed anime, what other things outside of your work that you like to do?
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. Right now, I'm so encompassed in the work. I got a daughter, so family is a big deal. But like, yeah, I'm just family work right now, man. I'm really encompassed in that because this problem is so like big. Like I just focus on it.
Can I also ask him another question?
Go ahead.
How do you not let this type of work consume you? Because I know some people who actually, like you said, go mad doing this type of thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not at that point yet. I mean, we ain't got enough money just to focus on going mad. I got to worry about building it out, and then maybe I can go mad. You know what I mean? But right now, we got so many things to do to kind of get to the point where we're actually selling hospitals and preventing this problem.
Okay.
I'm just focused on the goal, man. I don't have the luxury to go crazy right now, so
Now, how easy is it to get a grant?
it's not easy at all.
I didn't think it was.
I mean, extremely hard. Like I told you, I'm like one of a few to ever even receive this, not associated with the university. First off, like a grant like this, you got to understand how to write it. You got to understand how to speak the language. I mean, there are different kind of grants, of course, but a prestigious grant like this, you have to have like a real background and understand how to communicate your science in a way where people can understand it, because you have a panel of people who review this. You have scientists and then you have entrepreneurs. And that's a in-between segue that most people can't reach. So normally they have help. But if you don't have the money or you're not part of a university, it's hard to get that help. So what do? Right? You have to be able to communicate it. The first time I wrote this grant, I got rejected. And then I went back into the drawing board after asking advice, talking to the people ahead of the grant, the program directors. I was able to come back, resubmit, and actually get the grant. So it's extremely hard, but there's a lot of help out there.
I figured it has to be. And you have a whole alumni to fall back on to assist you.
Yeah, but the thing is that when you take university assistance, nothing's for free, right? So,
Oh, they get a portion of it or something?
if you're going through a university, they can,
Okay.
right? But I do have friends. I have a lot of smart friends that I can talk to and ask them for help. So,
Okay.
hey, edit this for me. Look at this. Check this out.
And I was going to ask you another question too. Like, do you hire people or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about 5 of us on the team. I had a full-time senior scientist. First person that I ever hired and left the company. Man, that was like a bad breakup. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you don't want us. But I understood that she was a PhD. She had to go on to greener pastures, so I completely understood why what happened. But, at the same time, though, losing your first person is kind of tough. But, yeah, you got to hire people. Nobody's great enough to do this kind of work alone. I mean, it's impossible.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So, going back kind of to childhood, what type of music were you listening to growing up in Detroit?
I mean, Jay-Z, favorite rapper, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Much deeper than people realize at
Yeah,
the
I give
time.
you that.
He was an underdog at first, and then he talked about life from an advanced state of being instead of like coming behind. Right? He was talking about platinum and Cartiers before we even knew what platinum was, right? So I mean, for me, that's really important to have this advanced outlook on life, and kind of like a boss talk instead of talking like somebody that's working for somebody else.
What's your favorite Jay-Z song?
Allure.
Man, yes, bruh. Black Album, yes, bruh.
Allure.
It took. I didn't like it in the beginning, but it had to grow on me. Yes, I
Yeah,
like it.
Allure.
Allure is up there.
I used to have a 5-disc CD changer. I kept that car 3 years. I kept the same 5 Jay-Z disc in my car for 3 years.
Allure, Reasonable Doubt, and what else?
Yeah, Black Album, Reasonable Doubt.
Black Album. I meant to say.
Volume. Volume 2 is fire. So Volume 1 was in there, and then the last one was actually Kingdom Come, which most people don't like.
I ain't like it. Other than Lost Ones.
Kingdom Come was all right.
Yeah, Beach Chair. It was a lot of goodies on there, man. You had to really sit down with it, and you have to understand the transition. And why I really like Jay is because he gave us all the goals. He gave us like how to get to where we want to go. We just didn't listen, right? This man was talking about buying art.
That's true.
I was getting ready to say the story of OJ by itself was the blueprint.
Yeah. Feel me?
I do got a question. How bad did Eminem whoop him on Renegade?
He didn't whoop him to me.
What made you ask him that question?
I had to.
I mean, don't get me wrong. M went crazy. I mean, the first two, the reason why I had a girlfriend in high school because she dubbed me Eminem first 2 EPA LPs, right? The Slim Shady joints. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why that became my girlfriend. You know what I mean? Because she gave me that tape way back then. So I messed with him, but after that, not really my style. Maybe I matured out of that, but those 2 albums are fire.
Okay.
So who's your number 2 favorite artist?
Damn, this gonna fuck y'all up.
Who?
Kodak Black.
And why?
That authenticity, man. Kodak is fire. And if you really sit down and listen, he's talking.
You're an interesting guy, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what? You're like a
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, can't figure you out. It's another word.
Kodak Black.
I'm nefarious. I can't think of another word.
But I never listened to his music, so I can't sit there and
that's what you get a lot of.
I heard he's a character. The real him is a character because I've seen videos where he's talking proper and he's not doing all that slurring stuff. So he's playing the game.
Yeah, that man's smart. He's so smart, and that's why I like Kodak. Right? He got everybody on his line. Puppet master, man. I like guys like that who understand how to move and don't let people tell them how to move. So,
well, since we on that topic, have you heard of somebody called 607 Unc?
Yeah.
They say he does the same thing too.
Yeah, I mean, all them guys, Charleston White. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like that guy.
But so if you guys remember Dick Gregory,
of course,
he did a lot of that too, though.
Yeah, rest in peace.
When did he ever do that?
Come on, man.
When did he ever go into a character?
Have you? Okay, so Dick Gregory, what he used to do is through jokes, he used to give you reality. It's not necessarily going.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like okay.
No, he never did that.
I give you that. He did.
Yeah. So through the jokes and through the bullshit, he used to give you reality. So he'd really make you think, and then he'd have a moment of like clarity for you because you wouldn't listen any other way.
Yeah, because what he would do is he'll go off on the person interviewing him. Yeah.
And even him going off on a person that's interviewing him, he's not really going off. He's just saying this is a hypothetical for the world. What do you think? So I actually got to see Dick Gregory's last show in his region at the Laugh Factory in Toledo.
How was it?
Man, it was amazing. My boy told me we should take a picture, and I'm like, man, I'm not taking no picture. And then he died like 2 weeks later. I felt terrible, man.
Yeah.
You know another person, I don't know if he still got interviews up, but the person that used to be with him is somebody called Mark from Anaheim.
I don't know him.
Mark from Anaheim. He's very, very low key. He used to be a former U.S. Marine. And he would give Dick Gregory a lot of information. That's what that's how Dick Gregory knew what he knew.
Now say his last name again, Mark.
Mark from Anaheim.
I don't know what you're saying, man.
Mark from Anaheim.
I'll just text it to me.
That's his name. Well, that's his stage name. Mark from Anaheim. That's not his real name.
Oh, from Anaheim.
From Anaheim.
I didn't know what you were saying.
Yeah, Mark from Anaheim.
Okay.
Yeah. For Anaheim.
Mark from Anaheim.
Yeah. 3 words. I got you.
Mark from Anaheim.
Yeah.
Now, I guess we got to go into the comedians then. Were you done with your rapper list?
Yeah.
You only listed 2.
Oh, you said top 5? Or top
if
3?
you want to do a 5, if you had 3 more, if you want to.
Yeah, so we got Jay, Kodak Black. Man, I'm really, I don't know what's going on, but I like 4-2 Doug right now. I mean, that kid remind me of a Kodak Black, like just thorough. What's my man name from the big fella, FBD or what?
BG Duck.
Man, I like
Rest
that
in
kid.
peace.
No. My bad. Rest in peace. But no, not the big fella that be rapping. He had a song with Sada.
Rio.
Nah, big fella. He from like Grand Rapids, something like that. How y'all don't know this guy?
I'm trying to think.
You say he did a song with who?
Man, he did a song with Sada, man. This guy be tripping, man.
Is he not the dude that had the HIV positive?
Yeah.
I can't never remember his name.
Man, that guy fire, man.
You say he from
Yeah,
Flint?
he fired.
From Flint.
I
Yeah,
can't
my
never
bad. My
remember
bad.
his
for-
name.
I'm-
yeah, you got to bring up his name. He's so fire, man.
I gotta
That's
get
the
to
first time I
the,
saw him. He had a shirt that said HIV
That
positive.
but I mean, not only man, the kid hilarious, but he fire,
Yeah,
bro.
and you say he a big dude.
Yeah, he fire.
I cannot
So it's
remember
not
his name.
Rio.
No, it's not Rio. Dad, what is his name? My homeboy know I would call him, but
Because I got a list of rappers right here.
Okay.
Is this him? Stuff.
let me see. Yep.
What's the guy name?
Said I got his picture. I just don't have his name right. Face.
Second.
Man, I can't believe we disrespecting this guy
I'm
like
sorry.
that.
Yeah, we don't mean to disrespect you.
Yeah, he fire. He's so fire.
FBGJ man. No. Yeah, Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, yeah,
Pac-Man.
yeah. He go crazy, man. I'm talking about super creative, crazy metaphors, and just all around good music. You
Yeah,
know? I like him.
He look like a silly ass person. I can see his
Yeah, he
picture right
wild
here.
as heck.
Yeah, but he a worker, man. He works hard, man. You can tell you always putting out something in your grinder. I like that.
That's very interesting. So what about comedians though?
We gonna go Dave Chappelle. I ain't give you my top 5 rappers though. Let's
Oh no, what you had? That was 4.
yeah.
You need one more.
I gotta go old school. I gotta go Freeway, man.
Got the hood on smash.
Yeah. Classic. But yeah, so comedians, we gonna go Dave Chappelle for sure. Chris Rock.
I seen him live.
Oh yeah, me too. I seen him live. Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan.
Hilarious.
Did you say Chris Rock before? In between?
Yeah. Chris Rock, Tracy Morgan. Damn, that's really it, man. I mean, you got a lot of funny guys, but my type of comedy is like them guys. And then a couple of guys I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you don't know their names, but you just catch some funny shit.
Yeah.
But you know, hey, Drewski, I mean, like we got to put him up there. We got to call him a comedian.
I don't know
now,
if
right?
he ever done stand up, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like shit. He hosted stand up. The guy's hilarious.
What about Corey Holcomb?
That's my guy.
I mean, I don't know what Corey is now. Like, of course he's a comedian, right? But he's doing the Dick Gregory thing now. He's starting to transition into that where he started to give people a slice of reality in his comedy.
He's always done that though, because he's had a podcast for about 15 years now.
Okay, I wasn't up
And
on it.
he still has it.
Yeah, I wasn't up on it.
Yeah, he's.
So I mean, that's not my flavor. You know, I'm not a big fan. I think he's funny, but I wouldn't really listen to Corey Holcomb personally.
Okay, yeah.
So you basically, like you said, to Chris Rock and
Chris
Dave
Rock,
Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle, Tracy Morgan,
What was your favorite season of Chappelle's show?
season 2. That's
everybody's favorite season.
I mean, you got all the Charlie Murphy and all that. So yeah, season 2 was hilarious.
Especially the Rick James.
Hilarious.
Man,
Hilarious.
Classic.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite depiction of a movie? Where I guess where an infectious type of movie. I think they had one.
World War Z. For
I think
sure.
I was actually about to say World War Z because
Yeah.
the way it ended, I guess the ending was.
The ending was kind of trash. I mean,
The way he's in the room with all the veils of.
yeah, but just randomly infecting you and like, come on, man.
Man.
Like that's too far off. Like I wasn't a fan of that.
See, like it's to a degree. It's like every time I got you figured out what I think you're gonna do or like, you just veer off.
No, World War Z was so fire because the plot was fire.
Yes.
The cinematic depiction and looking at zombies and things like in that light was fire. But the way they wrapped that up, I would have liked a more morbid like wrap up. Like, dude, we don't solve this thing, we don't figure it out. I mean, that would have been more realistic.
Now,
in my opinion.
if we are gonna go off into the zombies, and you knowing a little bit about
Before you
the
ask, I got one more question
go
about
for it,
that.
go for it.
What about 28 Days Later?
Fire.
Oh, that's my movie.
That's just my movie.
That's my movie.
Not weeks.
With Ving Rhames, right? No.
No, that's-
28 days later. I'm thinking of Dawn.
You think of Dawn of the Dead?
You think
28
of
days
Dawn
later, I like that
days,
too.
Yeah, 28 days later. Fire. It was what was it? It was a European movie, right?
I think so. Yeah, I like that ending too when they.
I don't know if it was British or what it was.
I can't remember. I gotta go
but
back and see it.
Fire.
Yeah, that's.
Now, what was you saying about
I forgot what I was about to say.
Well, let's start off with this Dawn of the Dead. Now, even though that what
That's
you
one of
call
my favorites.
that was a zombie movie.
Yeah, it seems like all the good zombie movies came out early 2000s,
Yeah.
man.
They got one on the internet on YouTube. It's called The Horde. You might like it.
I seen that. I mean, that's another genre I kind of like delve in. So yeah.
I love that. Yeah. No, I remember my question.
Go ahead.
What's the probability that zombies may ever actually occur? We don't have to go with your side.
I mean, 1%. Like,
I feel like I could last. That's what I kind of anticipated.
I imagine, bro.
So. I think I can make it. It depends on my first encounter. Am I aware?
You got family?
Yes.
You ain't making it.
Why you say that?
I'm different.
No,
I'm a
sociopath.
Now I want to know why would you say that?
We got walkie-talkies.
Because in reality, this man got responsibilities to take care of. So I mean, like,
you meant family like that? No, I don't got like a spouse and kid.
Oh, okay.
I got siblings though. And
you're just gonna let them go?
No, I'm gonna talk.
They on their own.
You remember pandemic when everybody was in the house and calling each other every day? Hey, y'all doing good? I didn't do nothing.
Bro, even if you made it through the initial horde, you can't farm. Like, you
don't know my talents, man.
Can you farm?
No.
Okay.
Here's my question: where are you going to farm at? You got zombies everywhere.
No. You build a fence. But no, I got a seeds upstairs though. It's just I can't farm here.
Yeah.
But I'll find an area.
So you know what's interesting though? Like, funny story is when I was in Nebraska, they had some of the most dangerous germs and pathogens in the world there. You know why they housed them in Nebraska?
Why? Because nobody's there.
Because it's only it's 1 million people there. So the density of people is so spread out. The infection spread in Nebraska is like less likely.
Okay.
So we should go somewhere like that if an outbreak happens.
You know what that remind me of?
What?
You remember that movie called The Crazies?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie right there, because it was in Iowa, based in Iowa, but it still had a whole vast of cropland and stuff like that.
The Crazies. But I don't know if they were zombies. They were just like inbreds, right?
No, what happened was the plane of whatever the hell they was trying to take to the incinerator, it crashed into the water and affected the water supply in that small town.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
So that's how that happened.
Yep.
Good movie, by the way. Go check it out.
That's one of my favorite genres.
But I got one more movie before we move on.
Go ahead.
How do you feel about I Am Legend?
Oh, part 2. Never.
Yeah. Part 2 is supposed to drop, but that ender was like, I mean, but they had an alternative ending on there, so you know what I mean, where he kind of like crawled through.
I didn't see that.
Also, fire. I Am Legend is a classic, man. I mean, like, Will is the man. Like, let's be honest, right? We all grew up on Will, bro. Don't have bias on what done transpired in the last few years.
I'm one of those people. I feel like Hollywood, you got to do stuff for the spotlight, and the stuff he did, unfortunately, I see him in a certain light now. I'll leave it.
What'd he do?
Man, what's the movie? 6 Degrees of Separation.
That was a movie, bro.
But I feel like in Hollywood, behind the scenes, you got to do the Harvey Weinstein for movie roles, and I feel like he's done that a lot for movie roles. That's just me, though. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Look, but
I don't want nobody to have to.
But think about
bend over for a movie role.
So think about the logic we have here. You don't like this man because of potentially what happened that you don't know nothing about. That makes sense.
I'm just saying. I hate to find out that Uncle Phil. He was homosexual just to get the spotlight. I hate to find out that Carl Winslow was homosexual just to get on the TV show. That I do believe does happen in Hollywood, and hopefully it's not true.
I'm not saying. I'm saying whether that's the case or not. We don't know nothing about Will. All we know is this man made "I Need Love." We know that. We know he was in our. We know Will was in our childhood. We know this man.
He made I Need Love.
Oh no, my bad.
Summertime.
Yeah, summertime. Yeah, I Need Love.
Them two go together. My bad.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you're like, oh. Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. What we talking about?
He wrote
here?
what? No.
You're like, oh, he did that. Yeah.
I mean,
but my point is, what we know about him should outweigh what we don't know about him. We don't know.
I know he's good at acting, but
we also know he's a philanthropist. We know he gave money back to people. We know he done took care of things.
We also know he can slap the shit out of somebody too.
I mean, shit, bro. We all
in his household now. They don't know where. Thank you for that.
Hey, y'all ain't never got out of the way for a girl. Look, go ahead and go ahead. Oh my God!
I never let a woman send me off.
That.
Never in life, y'all ain't never got out of a way for a girl.
I never done that.
No,
I had
a few women try to send me off.
I've never done that.
I never let a woman send me off to do nothing that might
not send you off.
Out of the way. Explain it then.
What I mean is your emotions ain't never took over so much for a girl. You acted out of character.
No,
Not
'cause
like
I can
that.
see. I can see it coming a mile away, and I know what to do.
So your whole life. Okay.
Yeah,
whole life.
not like
You
that.
ain't never, hold on. Not like that is not that it didn't happen.
Okay, now reframe your question one more time.
Have a girl and your emotions ever got so threw out of whack where you did something that's out of character because of a girl?
No,
You ever check the phone?
no, I don't do that.
I don't do that.
I don't do that.
My girl used to have that password.
Hey,
All my women
one
get the
thing
password to my phone.
I would never do that.
Hey, what they saying now? Hey, chat. Y'all believe that chat?
Hey, what's
No.
what's my button?
Look.
My nigga.
They get the password to my phone.
Hey, chat. What you think, chat?
But you know my reasoning for that? Because if you don't want to see something you don't want to see, do not go through a phone.
Respect. And you know what? I'm gonna take y'all at face value, and you say it never happened. It never happened. But my thing is that I know a lot of brothers that went out of character. I mean, how many guys done actually got into some real trouble over a woman? Will ain't the first guy. He human.
She was.
Man,
Listen, man, I'm
He
just
was at his breaking point.
listen, this is what I'm tired of, right? I'm tired of us demonizing anybody that's black, famous, and rich.
we're not
I
doing that.
demonize the
We're-
white
No,
guy.
no,
We're not doing that.
not you. I mean, as a culture, right? Because you guys didn't make this up. You got it from somewhere, right? And it's just been the kind of the talk of the net. So what I'm saying is that anytime one of our brothers do something amazing, we instantly go to it's got to be some shit in the game. Maybe it's not.
Well, I'm not saying
Is that not
all-
fair?
We're not saying that all the time. I mean,
Okay.
but let's be fair to what my brother just said over here. There is some underplay for the overplay shit going on sometimes.
Facts.
Yeah, there is something going on.
Facts.
Certain
But-
people like Denzel. If I hear something, the same accusations, I'd be like, "Shut up, that's Denzel."
Right,
Other people,
but if you hear it enough, then that don't become Denzel. Because at one time you would have never believed that about Will Smith. Most people didn't see 6 Degrees of Separation. Most people didn't see that movie
it's
until
not
later.
even that. He even had alleged accusations of him linking up with that other actor. I can't remember his name. It's several. It's just.
But could I bring this
Go
up?
ahead.
Look at Diddy. You know what I mean? A lot of people said what they said about Diddy a long time ago, and now
Yeah.
it came out to the forefront.
I mean, listen,
which
I live in America, bro, and until things are proven, I'm not saying nothing. Because we have a way of any black man that's guilty to proven innocent. Maybe he is guilty, right? But let's see where the trial goes.
I agree because
Yeah,
what's the name was innocent? Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that to this day, but y'all knew when he was
Yeah.
being targeted.
I mean, we just need the same energy for other people, and I'm wondering why so many black actors and famous people are under attack. That's just
We
strange
don't
to me.
care about the other cultures. We don't care that Flash was a bad person. We don't care.
Yeah, but I do, and I just don't see it reported the same. So I like fairness.
I give you that.
You know what I
Never
mean?
reported
So
the same. Other than Harvey Weinstein.
yeah, that was crazy. I mean,
wild.
but that man was a demon.
But
he had to go.
Yeah,
like
you.
that man
But
had
he
to
pretty
go.
much exposed what I was saying is true. There
Yeah.
were several women in Hollywood for movie roles had to go meet them at 2, 3 in the
Not
morning
just
in a hotel
women.
room.
Not just women.
Yeah, I didn't want to go there too.
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
hey, we already know where this conversation is going.
But then that even bring me to people like Quincy Jones. Quote, allegedly, hopefully it's wrong, but Quincy Jones allegedly was fond of men and he meeting with all these, I don't think he did it with Michael Jackson, but there's several other guys who he probably got it on with.
Yeah, see, and one day you guys might get huge, right? Well, you're gonna get huge, but I mean, we don't ever want that frame of thinking because I'm telling you, you get so high and they try to bring you down. I don't know who they are.
No, it's no doubt about that. We definitely do agree with you on that. You know what I mean? But from my point of view, I would say for certain people,
where there's smoke,
certain
there's
people.
fire.
Right, exactly. For certain people.
I'm not discounting all that, but what I'm saying is let's just be careful, especially when things are currently going on saying like what's true and what's not true.
Let's
because-
wait till the jury.
You feel what I'm saying? And jury don't say it all, but like let's wait till the facts come out. You know what I mean?
That's why I don't never really speak on Diddy because
Yeah.
I kept saying when he was locked up the first few weeks and months, like, what did he do? What did he do? Y'all looking for something
Yeah.
because y'all don't got nothing.
Yeah, let the facts come out. And
Like-
now, if the facts come out, then
He just
You gotta
he
go.
sued a billionaire. He won. Pay him his money.
Now,
Versus doing that.
can I go back to movies for a second?
Yeah.
Another fire zombie movie I forgot about. Zombieland.
oh yeah, that was a little goofy.
It
Yeah,
was
it was
goofy, but
goofy.
I liked it. It was good.
I could. It was like Shaun of the Dead to me. I couldn't rock
Oh, I
with
love Shaun of the Dead.
it. I couldn't rock with it.
You didn't like Shaun of the Dead?
Nah. Nah, I like the dystopia, post-apocalyptic. Like Book of Eli was fire, even though it was no zombies.
I like Book
that
of Eli.
vibe. You know what I mean?
I like the twist they had on it.
Yeah.
Now, are you a Marvel guy?
Yeah. I'm a Marvel guy.
What's your favorite?
Come on, man. Endgame. Let's be honest.
Endgame over Infinity War?
Which one was the end? The last one.
Yeah. I like Infinity War when he pulled up and did the snap, though.
Oh, so you like that part first?
It just makes...
I like the time travel and all that, man. So the second
that was a
part...
cop-out.
It was for sure. It was plot armor, right?
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure, 100%. But for me though, that was the end game was the one that I can like put on.
I like the Winter Soldier.
Okay, you buy yourself a bat.
Hey, man. I mean, you the only human.
I like the Winter Soldier.
The only human on the planet.
I like the Winter Soldier.
What was the one with Cap versus Iron Man?
Civil War.
That's
Civil War. That was fire too.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on, Black Panther 1 was fire.
Oh, yeah.
Black Panther 2, it's okay.
It was that first one.
That first one did.
The first one, yeah.
I like the Iron Man.
Killmonger was fire. Okay. So
Yes, I've been telling people that.
Killmonger was fire.
To me, he was my favorite one, in my opinion.
All-time villain
Yeah, all-time villain.
over Thanos.
No, it's number 2.
Over Joker?
No, over
we
Thanos.
do
That's
DC?
DC though. That's
No, I'm saying
DC,
if we
that's
doing
different.
No, let's do all Marvel all-time villain top 3
on cinematic?
cinematic only.
I would say Thanos is number 1 for me.
Thanos
me too.
probably.
Number 2, I'm gonna stick to Killmonger. Number 3,
Shit, ain't even
No. Goblin. Not Green Goblin.
man. What?
nah, hell no.
I'm just throwing.
No.
Nah, he was throwing
I'm not gonna
villains
say
out.
Loki. I can't say
No,
Loki
no.
for some reason. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
can't
well,
be.
because they turned him into an anti-hero.
What about the Mandarin
Nah, the Mandarin from Iron Man?
from Iron Man 3?
Hell no, that was because he
I
wasn't
say
really the
Kane,
Mandarin.
bro. Kane the Conqueror. Let's not think about Kane and Ant-Man. Let's think
Oh,
about
I forgot all
Loki.
about Kane.
I mean, he did a fantastic job in Loki, man.
Kane is yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, but yeah.
You see how they did our brother Jonathan Majors?
What, his personal life or what are we talking about?
I'm talking about how they kicked him off the movie. And
Yeah.
everybody
For an
gave him-
accusation that's why I say Hollywood got to move slower. If somebody got an accusation, don't just react.
But they had video of him not doing anything. He
That's
was running
what I'm
away.
saying.
He was running away.
He was clearly running away.
Yeah.
Clearly.
But she was probably the whole time was I can't think of what it's called. They probably sent her at him weeks or months ahead
plant,
of time.
a plant.
Yeah, plant. That's the yeah.
Yeah.
And then they say, okay, you activated now.
Hey, I would say that, but he was out with another girl. Come on, we all done had those situations.
I don't know nothing about that.
All I gotta say is he was running away on camera. The video I saw, he was running away.
He was running away.
Not only running away, but running full speed.
Yeah, running.
What was your first Jonathan Major movie you ever saw?
I don't know, man. The guy been around for a while, but the ones that I really love was that Rocky. That exemplified like greatness.
The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
That's where I first saw him. That's where I first saw him.
I ain't really sit down with that when I threw it on and went to sleep on it.
That was actually a low key fire movie.
It got some good.
It was good.
Some good.
It was about the house and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
that.
grandfather's house.
I ain't go. Was it?
Well,
I ain't going.
about it. Go watch the movie.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie. Oh, what about Lovecraft Country? That has some good graphics.
I can get into that.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Man,
But now we talking series, right? So what's
that's a series. You're right. It's a series, not a movie. But,
but like The Wire, best all time series ever.
I will never argue that. You are correct. What about what you thought about the
Well,
corner?
you know, I see
Not
that.
a fan. I mean, so the corner, I understand what was going on there, but for me, I like a bit better graphics and like it was like almost like a play, the corner. So they did a lot better with The Wire, like integrating like different sounds and different scenes and stuff like that.
Now let me ask you this: do you like The Sopranos?
It's so-so.
So, what's the weakest season of The Wire? Is it 3?
Season 1.
Season 1 is the weakest.
Season 1 is fine.
Why would you say that?
You really
I
different.
mean, nah, listen, either season 1 or season 5.
Season 5, I can't
remember season.
Season 5 focused on the kids.
Oh yeah, that's when. Yeah.
Yeah, you like Marlo, but it was too much of the kids for me. You know what I mean?
I gotta go
I
back.
don't
Season
think
2.
so because the kids was getting got in season 5.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool, but it was just too centered around that for me. I like.
You wanted the players.
Yeah, I
more
want to
than
see the
anything.
major players, but season 1 with the news and all that, I didn't care about the shipping, the
But
dock.
I didn't like that
That's
either.
the foundation. You setting up something great. And it's
Respect.
like the first Batman. He had to set it up for the Dark Knight.
And guess what the worst Batman was to me?
The first one.
The first
Oh,
one.
I can't argue
You
that.
feel what
I
I'm
can't
saying? So it is the foundation
What's
building.
the foundation?
and that's okay. That's fire, but it set up the Joker, and then it set up Bane. So
Okay.
that first season was the worst for me.
I'm trying to think of another series. It's not coming to my mind right now.
There's several. You could do Power. You could do
I never
Snowfall.
saw Power.
Snowfall.
Snowfall, yes,
Oh,
Snowfall.
yeah.
Hey, Snowfall
Now,
for real.
I got a question for y'all. That ending, that Snowfall ending. What do you think?
You know what? I get it, but I didn't like it.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
The Rise and Fall. That's all I can say.
So
Rise and Fall.
for me, that story is the most realistic thing I ever seen. I've seen it. Now at that level, no, but I've seen it.
But you know what?
That's how it normally ends.
But let me just say this about the ending. It kind of justifies it because instead of him getting killed off, he got to live with the torture of his background, his past.
I mean, it's a redemption story, right? But the redemption is no longer him overcoming and being this great person. It's him going back into where he started. Like, you going back into that poverty and things like that. But now you don't even got the love.
No, you don't. You don't have nobody.
You don't have nobody.
You know they're talking about making a spinoff, right?
It's terrible.
They-
Horrible.
just stop.
Horrible.
Just
They're talking about making this to the '90s gang culture.
So if you like that, then you must have liked American Gangster.
Loved it.
I figured.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah. That's one of your favorite Denzel's movies?
I mean, we got to go Denzel Training Day, of course. But,
Oh, yeah.
you know what, man?
Is it solely for the Oscar or you really liked it?
Come on, man.
I got to
Training Day was fire. But my favorite Denzel, though?
What's that? Malcolm X.
Nah.
You going to say Deja Vu.
No, this last Denzel and Gladiator. Did y'all peep him?
I watched it, but what did you see that you liked about it?
So that character was supposed to be based on a real man. And if you don't know that, then you're like, huh? The movie was terrible, by the way. It was just a repeat of
It really was.
the first
Because you kept trying to capture the same scenes that was in the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
one. Like,
and
create
that-
new scenes. But
I didn't like that,
Yeah.
right? But that character was so creative and crafty in such a hostile world. I'm talking about that's a real rise and fall. This guy was a nobody. He did gladiator fighting. And
I
then
can't remember how that movie ended for Denzel. Did he?
it ended bad.
Okay.
and the way it ended, it was anticlimactic. So
Yeah.
I never seen it, so I can't.
that's terrible.
I have little to say about it.
Salute to you, Denzel, in your career. You ain't never had to do no wild stuff that I've heard.
I actually liked him in they just made a third one of it not too long ago. He played
Equalizer.
Equalizer, yeah.
The third one was the worst one.
Yeah, I didn't like
the
the
first
third one.
I just like the first
Yeah,
one.
the first one was, yeah.
The other two was, come on, man.
Did you ever see his son had a movie? It was called Tenant.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I'm not a fan of his son.
Also, he had the one, he was that cop in Colorado, the Black Klansman.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his son.
At all? Is it a reason why, or you just don't? Is it his face?
Nah, man. I don't know. Maybe not necessarily. I guess that's harsh to say. I'm not a fan of his son. I'm just not a fan of the roles that he plays so far.
Yeah,
Not even Black Klansman.
Nah, I think he needs to really step outside the box and maybe get into something.
sci-fi.
Yeah, maybe something a little bit, something his dad didn't touch, because you coming behind your dad, it's kind of hard to like measure up.
Can I ask you another question?
Mm-hmm.
Being a scientist as yourself, what movie is your favorite movie when it comes to science?
Interstellar.
I love that soundtrack.
So remember when we talked about Carl Sagan early on with the 4-dimensional Earths and things like that? That falls back into like this whole quantum mechanics and understanding different dimensions and being able to see in the past and the future and things like that. So yeah, Interstellar, super accurate on a theoretical basis.
You know, I have seen this movie, but it's been a long time. I barely remember it.
No, I had that white guy, and I always forget his name.
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Good movie, good soundtrack.
Fire.
Yeah, great movie. I just hated the ending, how he finally met his daughter, but like she was.
And Matt Damon was in this movie too.
Hey,
Yeah, Matt Damon. Oh, Matt Damon, your role was, man, bro, you was.
great. That was awesome.
He was a piece of
Yeah, he was. but
For the movie?
hey, but I'm trying to get off that boy too, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get off that planet too.
I'm trying not to spoil it, yeah.
What's interesting is that the robot, right? Normally when you
Yeah.
see robots, you see them made like humans. They walk in, but that's probably not the best build for certain terrains.
That robot.
Facts.
Yeah.
They had a robot that could roll, and it's probably the best build to take on like those type of hostile terrains. So that was interesting to me, the fact that they kind of spent that up. You can tell they put a lot of development in that.
So I just got probably one more question for you. What do you think about, I guess, the mechanics of the movie Back to the Future?
I mean, it was like the originator. I mean, so time travel is one of those like super weird things. Is it possible? Is it not? I mean, like it just depends on who you talk to.
Good theory.
Yeah, but I mean, one thing that a lot of physicists think, specifically, maybe you can travel in time forward, or even if you was travel backwards, you couldn't create the same reality. There's too many paradoxes there.
Now, there was a movie many years ago. I can't remember what it's called. The dude traveled back in time, but they said you're not allowed to touch yourself because if you touch yourself, it'll create a paradox. What do you think about that specifically?
I think just specifically, right? You can't go into your past and change your future because why did you ever travel back in the past in the first?
The multiverse, it'll branch off.
That's the whole idea of like the many worlds theory and multiverse and stuff like that. Yeah, that's where that kind of comes from, like branches and stuff like that. But yeah, do I think we're ever going to see time travel? I mean, like, maybe.
I think so. I think,
but like, bro, why ain't nobody traveled back yet?
Or maybe they did. They just don't know how to travel back forward.
I mean, like, they ain't said nothing. I mean, you can't tell. They can hold secrets like that in the future?
No, I'm more one of those people who's really into let's just say theories, esoteric or whatever. And if you get into the deep web, you see they might dig up fossils of cell phones. Some coal miners one time they digged up some screws that are embedded in rocks. So if it's not time travel, it's the world resetting and they're not letting us know.
That is a theory that, I mean, we're not the first civilization, right?
Yeah, I don't think we are.
Or what if it's like Sarah Connor in 2, when she had a dream, she went back in time before Doomsday happened, but nobody heard her.
Yeah. The amount of energy that you need to travel back in time is more than the sun. And to harness that kind of energy right now is insane. So who knows in the future, maybe, but yeah, I mean, that's one of the far-fetched ones for me.
So, okay, this is really my final question before we go to the bowl. At least my question. What's your favorite X-Men?
Person or movie?
Person.
Okay, so
it don't even got to be official X-Men, just somebody on the actual show X-Men.
Yeah, so 90s X-Men, the series, all-time classic, but the reason why is my mom used to watch this with me.
I mean, what's your character?
No, I got you. Okay. I got you. I'm gonna get to it. But that whole genre of 90s X-Men is like, I mean, like that's all-time favorite everything. Right?
They just brought it back with 97. You like that?
It was fire. It was fire. Magneto though is by far my favorite character.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Anybody who's Omega level, and he's like top Omega level.
I mean, what he stood for though, right? In the cartoon,
I agree with him more than Xavier most of the time.
Right?
I'm like, bro, he's right.
And they kind of theorized that it was Malcolm X and Martin for Xavier, right?
No, he confirmed it. He said they are based off of Malcolm and
Martin.
He
did say that.
Yeah, I mean, I think what he said is that he was just writing them, and then when he kind of played off that, right?
The big giveaway in the movie, he said, "Be mutant and proud."
Yeah, but I mean, in the movies though, he's also Jewish, so
yeah.
So
if you believe it, black people were once Jewish before we came back white, or they came back white, I should say.
So I guess
you want to go down that rabbit hole.
President Gamal.
If you want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Okay.
Minus the ish. But I got one more question for you. One more question.
Not lying.
Ghostbusters. Since a lot of that was done around, science and everything, where would you rank that movie?
I mean, I was a kid when it came out, so I rank it a 10. I love that movie. Now, when it comes to science, 2.
Because you seen all these chemists, they were out there, in their suits and, and their gun and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, what I mean?
Fire. I wish I could build a gun like that and just shoot myself.
Yeah, that's how I was feeling like, damn, the closest thing I got was a super soaker.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm like, shit,
I mean, and I mean, if you got that kind of pull, why you driving a station wagon, bro? Like, I'm not really messing with no... Why would I get the station wagon? I can't have anything. Like,
I can't fly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Come on.
At least fly. I mean, damn.
At least fly. Yeah. At least fly.
But that was my final question, so we can get to these bowl pools.
Yeah, we can get to the bowl.
All right, this is the part of the show that you all love. Getting ready to get to these questions. Let's play the theme music. We'll start over here. We want to do one or two.
It's up to you. How many questions?
One question.
We can just rock. Let's just rock.
All right, cool.
All right.
You already pulled one?
I pulled one.
Oh, okay. You go ahead with yours. You fire off.
Mine say, have you ever ran out of gas?
What? Brother.
Hey, my homeboy say you not a real nigga unless you ran out of gas.
Hey, brother. I used to have a 89 Caprice.
Yeah.
I don't know if I bought this car from somebody, and it was a retag car. I mean, driving around on this thing was like driving around on balloons. The tires were terrible. I mean, like, bro, I could not drive it in the winter. Now, it was super clean, but I ran out of gas in that car so many goddamn times. On prom day, I ran out of gas, and on graduation night, I ran out of gas.
You probably had a leak in the tank. The tank probably had a leak in it.
No, my gas meter didn't work.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you
the
never
old
knew.
cars? I never knew.
Never knew.
I mean, I had no money anyway, but the point was, I still didn't know.
Wait a minute,
It'd be
prom
better to
night,
know than not know.
Did anybody help you on prom night?
No. So it was prom day.
Oh,
luckily.
day. I'm sorry. Okay.
So I ran out of gas earlier that day, prom night.
Before you had the suit on. Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
For me, of course, I ran out of gas, but I never stopped. I never ran out of gas in order to when the car stopped and just
So you glided to a.
I glided, yeah.
to a,
Because at those days I had y'all gonna laugh at me. I had a neon.
Hey, we all start somewhere. Man.
Nah, get this guy out of here.
I had a
man.
neon.
Neon?
Let me.
No, we not jacking that.
Can I explain?
Okay.
That car was given to me. I didn't pay for it.
You had
Oh, that's better.
Ain't nothing wrong with the
Yeah,
neon.
yeah. It was a free. It was a free car.
Yeah.
Thanks, mom. Thanks, mom. That's all I gotta say.
What color? Don't say
Black.
purple.
No,
I'm gonna say black.
it was red.
Oh, okay.
It was a red neon. I've kept getting stopped by the damn police, and I used to run out of gas all the time because I never had no damn cash. But I never stopped.
You never stopped.
I never stopped.
You made it further than me.
Yeah. What about you?
No.
You spoiled kid. You.
I literally did. I did buy one car. It was a Mercury Mariner. When I bought the car, it was a used car. It had I don't know who had the car before me, but they put a bunch of cardboard in the tank. So every time I filled it up, the gas would splash back on me, and my tank always read like it was low, and then sometimes it read high. So I just always kept gas in it. It was weird.
So you never at all.
I went back to the dealership.
You never ran out of gas.
I've never ran out of gas. So I guess I'm not a real nigga.
Where you from, man?
Pontiac.
Okay, yeah, I guess that was gas in Pontiac.
Hey, he not like us.
Nah, this man ran out of gas in Pontiac.
Because I don't want to be in them situations. Like, I want those people before when fall come, I actually like get my tires ready, get a bunch of stuff ready. Because I don't want to be on the side of the road in the cold.
You had your mom and dad? You had your mom.
I have my mom in my life. My dad, I know who he is, and I visit him from time to time. But
Okay, so where you get the acumen from, man, to be on top of it?
I just don't. I foresee situations. That's why earlier when you said, "Have I ever argued with a woman or something like that?" The answer no, because I see it coming.
You never argue with a woman. I ain't say argue. But
No, I've never argued with a woman either. I see it coming, and I'm not about to deal with this. And I do what I got to do. I cut her loose.
Chat. Is that cap chat?
Has
Has this man ever
You
argued?
know, can I say this? You got to rephrase questions a certain type of way.
Okay, fair, fair.
Can I try it again?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a back and forth with a woman,
No,
or a disagreement?
no. We're adults. We can sit down and just speak. You say what you say. I say what I say, and that's it. We just it's like a business meeting.
So you never had any type of back and forth?
I'm telling
This
you,
man is
that's
special.
probably why I'm single. That's probably why I'm single, because I'm just like
I don't know how you can
I
be
make
single.
executive decisions.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Executive decisions.
One more time.
Excuse me.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Executive decisions. Just talk
No,
to people.
that's fire. That's
Women
fire.
gonna express themselves. I'm gonna express myself, and then we make a decision.
Okay.
You got to stop doing
I
that.
don't know why.
Respect, man. You know what? Again, in good faith, we'll take you at your word. Now, any ladies out there?
I don't believe his ass.
that
I'm gonna be
watch-
honest. I don't
If
believe
you
that.
watch the podcast, please comment it if you guys ever argue.
Never.
Hey, no, that's fire. And if they don't comment, then hey, you
I've
go.
never argued
you
with
go.
no woman. Now, sometimes I've taken a loss because I didn't want to argue. Like, man, if I say something and I just leave out.
You won, bro.
You gotta leave
Hey, if
out.
you never argued, you won for
There's
sure.
people who are in jail because they thought it was just gonna be an argument and it escalated beyond that argument. So
Yeah,
I
I got the
foresee.
wisdom of Solomon.
Would you like to go
No,
next?
you go next.
Do you think man walk beside dinosaurs?
No.
yes. Just yes, that's all.
What do you call man, first off?
Let's just say humans.
No.
Humans.
You mean us?
Homo sapien, no.
I'm about 50-50.
Okay.
I'm about 50-50.
Okay, so okay. We got to do this. I need to understand why you guys say yes. Potentially, they walk amongst dinosaurs.
I could be wrong, but I can't think of that.
I don't have any proof per se, But I'll just say this. I'm gonna leave it at this. Well, nothing surprised me if they did.
I say there are hieroglyphics that show dinosaurs. A lot of them show dragons. So
I
maybe
can show
dragons.
you pictures that show dinosaurs.
I could draw a picture and show. Yeah. So
Right,
I'm saying, but
So in a million years from now, they're gonna be like, did the everyday man walk with dinosaurs just because they cataloged them?
They did in Jurassic Park.
they might even dig up an old Avengers movie. Be like, oh, they had a green people called Hawks. So it's all possible.
Really, it's really no telling because a side of me say yes, another side say no. I don't
Let me tell you what this is, right? And this is okay, so when the internet came out, we thought it was going to revolutionize the world, and it did. Because the amount of information, we thought we were going to ascend to this class 2 society where the world is a utopia, and we think the same thing with AI. But it's so much noise. It's so much noise on the internet to where some things that we all accepted as truth, like the earth being round, for instance. Now we have whole flat earthers that's debunking that for whatever reason, right? And you have these people that have such like solid arguments to where you're like, oh yeah, that gotta be it. But as far as the dinosaurs walking the earth with people, I mean, that's not a thing.
So you don't think at all it could ever been a chance?
I would never say never, but I mean, from what we know and the people that we found so far, no way.
But there has been water that receded all throughout the earth, and then you can see old footprints of dinosaurs, and then you can see what appears to be a man's footprints. And I think it was called the Younger Dryas area. You also had fossils they're digging up and bones of alleged humanoid.
That humanoid is different. That's why I said Homo sapien. Right? Were there any humanoid creatures back then? Probably.
Well,
could be.
For the viewers out there, could you tell them what humanoid means or is?
A humanoid is with 2 limbs, 2 arms, a head just like us, very similar to us, but maybe not the same DNA.
But you had Homo sapien, Homo erectus. You had several different variations. Some of them got lost, but that's why
Neanderthal. So
I know something upright that resembled a human with, I don't know how many fingers, but we had 2 legs, 2 arms, did walk with dinosaurs, in my opinion.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't discount that, right? But I don't think the Homo sapien walked with, and that's a big difference because a Homo sapien and a Neanderthal is not the same thing. I mean, it's really important to understand.
You're right. Yeah, because we're not monkeys, and we're only like a few % off from them. DNA-wise.
Almost everything on this planet though has a very close DNA.
That's true.
I got a question to ask you.
If you believe it.
I got a question to ask you about that, but I don't want to interrupt anybody who has that.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Did you?
I'm done.
Did you ask your question?
Yeah. So I got. The question is. I mean, we can jump into that, but the question is, what's the most defining moment in my life?
I don't got one. Wait, do I? What's your answer?
No, you guys go first.
I don't know if I got one.
I don't know if this is the defining moment of my life, but I can tell you something that definitely changed my life. What? And anybody know that out there about me? I had a kidney transplant, but it's not the fact that I had one; it's when it happened. I had it on New Year's Day.
Damn.
Yeah.
So God is good
All the time.
Yeah.
All praise go to the Most High. Yeah. But you know what? We'll talk off air how it really happened. But when I tell you the story of how it happened, you be like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very thankful.
Every day.
Yeah.
I say in my life, a defining moment is I was on the bedside when somebody passed away. That was like the first time I saw somebody transition in front of my eyes. And from then, I started to pursue health. I'm more into the herbal. I don't know if you saw upstairs. I got a bunch of jars full of herbs.
No, but I want to tap in with you with some of that stuff because I'm interested in like completely changing the way I do food and nutrition.
Yeah, it's this guy.
Changed my life.
This is a guy named Yaki Awaken. He's one of my main influence right now.
I don't buy nothing off the internet, man.
No. One thing I like about him though, he'll tell you exactly how to heal yourself. He sells products, but he be like, yo, if you can't afford my products, buy this, buy that, make a tea or do this, that. And you
ain't no shortage now.
No, yeah. So that's what I like about him. That's what I'm like. Most other people is like, no, just buy my stuff. That's the only way. He tell you exactly how to do it. And then I bought some of his products. I'm like, oh, he really,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'd love to tap in with you offline about that stuff.
Yeah. I'm not as skilled as he is. I just know a few things, but I'm trying to every day.
I just need to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Daughter being born. I mean, amazing moment. I was in Nebraska. If you know anything about small towns like that, they only got 1 or 2 planes in and out. It was the afternoon. I had to go to Omaha, Nebraska, which was maybe an hour away. I got there in like 30 minutes. I was doing 100 miles an hour. I was able to hop the flight, got here, as soon as I walked through the door, my daughter was being born. So that was a real defining moment, right? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's a quote in there. It says, my poor dad said, I can't be rich because I have you kids. And my rich dad said, I must be rich because I have you kids. So it was a real motivator when I had a kid to say, hey, look, I have to be super successful.
That's one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite books of all time.
Yeah, classic.
I got that upstairs.
Yeah, I read it in high school.
You know what's so interesting about Robert Kiyosaki? He still does interviews, and he talks about money. Mm-hmm. And the thing what I like what he said about money is, why would you save money? They print more of it every day.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, no. So yeah, facts. Kiyosaki, he's an interesting character for sure. But that's all time classic.
You mind if I ask him one more question?
Go ahead.
Now let's go back to. I want to talk about evolution. Do you believe in Charles Darwin theory of evolution, that man came from monkeys?
Nah, I don't. I don't believe that. But do I believe in evolution? Yeah. I mean, there is some. I mean, simply a bacteria going from a different strain is evolution, right? Mm-hmm. So at one time, COVID was, I don't remember the variants, but those different variations, that's evolution. But do I think man came from monkey? No, I don't think that.
Now, I do got a question. He just made me think of it. World Health Organization, I think it's called WHO. No, I'm sorry, it's the CDC.
It is.
It's CDC. I'm thinking
it's WHO. World Health Organization.
But no, I'm thinking of the CDC. They pretty much take diseases and viruses, and they try to purposely mutate them, as they were allegedly doing with the COVID vaccine. How do you feel about them trying to purposely manufacture deadly diseases?
Yeah. So this story, if you don't understand like a lot of stuff that's going on, like in research, then you would think they're trying to manufacture deadly diseases. That don't really help anybody. But a lot of times to learn how to combat these diseases, we got to be on the forefront, similar to when I told you about like antibiotic resistance. So the reason behind why they're doing it, I won't begin to say that I understand exactly everything that they're doing there, but I don't think they were trying to purposely mutate like COVID to make it deadly for people.
I hope
I hope not too, right? And you know, I'm not naive to understand that. I mean, we got things like the Tuskegee experiments, and just all over the world, governments not necessarily having the best interest of its people. But how this spread and how much it got out of control, it's hard for me to believe that they would just release something like that without like being mindful that they could be affected too, right? So I think it would be more of a control thing if it was like on purpose.
Would you put it past them?
I don't put nothing past nobody.
Do you believe in the Wuhan story, or you think it got released some other way?
No, I think it really got released in Wuhan.
Okay.
I had a friend in China at the time. So she was locked down months before us, and she was telling me how crazy it was and how bad it was. I thought it was just another one of the stories like, hey, look, we're going to potentially get like some outbreak. But it was crazy over in China, right? And it don't make much sense if you're China to release it on your own people. Like, just the logic behind it. Like, there's so many things that didn't make sense. It had to be a mistake.
So you were familiar with the gain of function research already before anybody knew about it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not before anybody knew about it. But yeah, of course. But I mean, like, the thing is that you need to combat these things because they're going to change, right? So when they change, you got to be ready for them. How can you be ready if you never seen those changes? But if you're in a controlled lab environment where you can change these things and then treat them, then you have an up on the bacteria. It's like preparation. That's the thought behind it. Now, if there's anything more sinister behind that, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did y'all want to put one more question, or we all
keep
good?
going, man. Let's rock. It's Sunday. Right. We ain't got nothing to do.
Let's go one more. All right, everybody. We got the doctor in the house.
Also, if you want, it's a pen and paper over there if you want to write questions for future guests.
Okay, fine.
Nope, not answering that one.
I'm not rocking with this one, man.
Pick another one.
Okay. Yeah. Mine says, who is the king of New York rap-wise?
Oh, Jay-Z.
We kind of went over that.
Yeah, we know
That's officially Jay-Z?
Yeah, we got to go Jay.
I'm going to say with me.
I'm going to say Nas. I'm sorry, I just got to say Nas. That's me, though.
Jadakiss.
Yeah, okay, so.
Or Tupac.
Excuse me.
Hey, I'm not
You
wrong.
got to stop doing that.
Okay, I can't understand Jada at all, right? Jada, I mean, it's fire. I always love Jada, but come on, he not on the level of Jay or.
I like his punchlines and metaphors because I'm big on punchline and metaphors.
Well, why you don't like it? I mean, there's guys with better punchlines and metaphors. Why not Pat
Fabulous.
Poose?
Because they different voices.
Okay, so you like his voice with
Yeah.
the punch, the cadence.
It's just his flow sentence by itself. I just like it.
Okay, well, that's fair. I mean, yeah, okay, but come on, we said King, man. we gotta still talk realms, right?
So why
Okay.
is Nas not in it? Because Nas is worthy.
I say Nas before the early 2000s.
Stillmatic? Yeah, that's early 2000s.
Yeah, I say Nas before. I mean, Nas probably got one of the best rap albums ever.
Which one?
Which one?
Stillmatic?
But I like If I Rule the World. That
One Love.
yeah. So Nas most definitely is a GOAT, but Jay just got longevity. The shit he was talking
Can't do
about.
that. Nas got longevity. You can't.
Nah, I mean, I'm talking about real long. Nas was dead into the beef with Jay. Come on now.
No, we
Yeah, Uchi Wally.
Man, come on,
now let me
bro.
ask you this.
Nas, Jay-Z had Hawaiian Sophie.
Girls, but that was before Jay-Z even popped off.
But here's the thing: the question: are we talking about dead or alive?
I mean,
He didn't have enough. They didn't have enough. The dead ones didn't. I hate to say it.
Pac was technically West Coast, but I mean, he was
That's what I
technically
said
East Coast.
earlier.
He was
Yeah.
technically East Coast. Yeah.
Even though he didn't have the longevity, you got Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, I mean, when this is what you know, right? So I think about basketball. When people overlap, when Kobe and LeBron overlap, Kobe was the best player. So when people overlap with Big, he was the best. So you got to go
Define
big.
the overlap. What do you mean? Like when they collab with each other?
No, just when they existed at the same time periods,
Okay.
right?
Oh,
Because Big made the way. I don't think J Pop if Big's still around.
And you got Big L.
Nah, man.
he really didn't even get an album.
Yeah,
No, he didn't get an album, but I'm just saying,
man,
him and
Big
Jay
L
was
was
rocking each
hype,
other.
man. He was okay,
Don't
but
say he has hype. He has skill.
No, he had skills.
yeah, he was hype. No, I mean he wasn't.
Oh, he was okay.
Oh, I thought you meant hype and then like
see what
gas. Like
No, I do mean gas. He wasn't better than Mace.
What?
Are you serious?
No, I can't argue that.
What?
Mace was fire, man.
Mason is fire, but Bennett.
I don't know. I've never
Big
really
L, I
sat
don't
back and
know.
compared them both, but Big L is I'm biased towards his style, so that's all I can say.
Yeah. I mean that almost Wu-Tang style, almost like
I like Wu-Tang too.
astronomically.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they are. They educate.
yeah. I respect.
Yeah, that's my question.
Did you win your last fight?
Man, pull another question. But most likely, yeah, because I ain't
I
done a
can't-
lot of fights. It was years ago.
Not gonna talk about that one.
Because I don't argue, so those ain't fights.
It didn't say fist fight. It just said fight. We kind of went over this.
What is it?
What are some classic albums to you?
No, that's
Yeah, we kind of. You want to go?
yeah. So how easy is it for you to snap?
To snap? Oh, no, I'm fully self-control. Full self-control.
Nah, this man practiced that good old retention. All in his mind.
All in the mind power.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I've really worked on that. But dude, I get annoyed by like ignorance. It bothers me. And inconsideration really bothers me. So do I snap off? Not anymore, but yeah, that really bothers me.
For me, I'm still learning more and more about myself, and not saying I never snap, but the older I get, I'm learning. Look, if the situation don't fit you, just walk away.
Wow, that's powerful.
Just walk away because even if it's stuff on your job or stuff like that, I get it. We want income, but the way you think about it is out of desperation.
Yeah.
But out of desperation, nothing else gonna work out for you.
Yeah.
So to find peace and clarity, walk away.
It's okay. It's okay to walk away if the situation don't serve you.
That's what I'm saying. It's better to walk away than you die, and then your health or even worse happen to you trying to make something work. It's not working.
You guys, sorry, my bad. Are you guys on Alan Watt?
No, what is that?
I've heard of him, but I haven't heard.
You gotta check him out. He's
Isn't he an author?
He's a yogi though, from like the 70s. A white guy that kind of.
He sounds very
What's
familiar.
the name one of his books? I know I got one upstairs.
I don't know his books and names, but he got a lot of
guarantee I got one
YouTube.
upstairs.
You can look him up on YouTube. It really like trying to teach people how to like
Manifest.
more progress through life and like understand how like the true meaning behind life and kind of just dealing with your day-to-day stuff?
Well, I would say with me, I wouldn't say I'm trying to learn manifestation because it's something I already knew. I'm just coming back to knowing who I am. So with manifestation, it's sort of like the same thing, but different, you know, because the theory behind manifestation is, well, it's not really a theory. The idea behind it is that whatever you want, you can have. You just got to train your mindset to think that you already have it. And manifestation don't manifest out of worry, out of doubt, out of impulsiveness. It happens when you're calm.
So I think manifestation is like a key thing, and I believe in it. But I think what people don't realize that is not on a time limit.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
And that's really important to understand, because if you be like, I've been thinking about this all year long and it still ain't manifested, sometimes you gotta sacrifice certain ills in you to get rid of, like to cut out the cancer, to start manifesting things. So yeah.
Or like I even said before, maybe you got to leave your job.
You gotta leave your job. Maybe you gotta leave the current relationship you in.
Maybe. But the idea, and on top of that, like I said before, the main thing is manifestation will work when you're in turmoil. It work when you're at peace.
I know I've heard of this guy. I just can't recall from where.
Yeah, fire. Check him out. I mean,
You got a picture of him?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no.
to be clear, it's not no religious thing. It's more about how you should deal with everyday life.
Yeah.
Check him out.
Because you know, smart, as brilliant as you are, you know the mind has powers that,
Man, we can't even fathom.
that's what I'm saying. And people don't know how to use that power.
For sure.
Because if you constantly walking around in doubt and constantly saying to myself, not putting it in the universe, but man, that don't never work out for me. What do you think? What do you think going to happen?
Ain't never gonna work.
Because your energy is in the wrong wrong state.
Even if it was about to work for you, as soon as something go wrong, you ain't gonna let it happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
So my question is, what is your favorite breakfast food?
I don't eat breakfast.
Breakfast anytime.
Yeah, dude.
Breakfast is technically mean break from your fast, but I don't eat it.
Well, you know what I mean.
I only eat 1 meal a day. A lot of people don't know.
Oh, that's fire. Okay. Hopefully them nutrition values, that B12 and all that's good.
Cookies.
Yeah. This man go crazy.
That's why I'm not gonna say what the hell he just said.
Yeah.
No, but no, I'm about to eat healthy right now, starting today.
Yeah, I'm rocking with I gotta go with the waffle.
I'm kind of split between waffles and pancakes.
Well, let me tell you with the waffle, right? You can dress it up so many ways and it still not be soggy. You dress a pancake up, you know that's gonna be terrible, man.
What about shrimp and grits?
Come on, man.
Is that a no? What is that?
I mean, it's okay, but like, is that really breakfast?
That's brunch.
They serve it at Soul Food.
That's brunch.
It could be a dinner. It could be anything.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
Well,
let's go salmon croquette if you wanna.
That was nasty.
Oh man, come on, get these brothers out of here.
I can't do
Chat.
seafood.
What?
I can't do seafood.
Okay.
I'm allergic.
Okay, well, respect.
But what about in that case, what about omelets?
Nah,
You don't do omelets?
I do. Nah, I
I
can't.
don't eat eggs.
I eat eggs, but I can't do an omelet.
What about bacon?
Look at this man. With Dr. Umar coming on or something. What's going on, brother?
Well, you see, my brother.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta have a few.
Hey, look, you know what? I'm moving away from the pork bacon and moving into the turkey bacon.
I like beef bacon
Okay.
because it's a better texture.
Okay, what you like?
Beef bacon.
Okay, that's crazy.
You never heard of it?
Oh, bro, if you like beef bacon, you know what I mean? But okay.
Well, I got a feeling the joke is coming. A pause moment is coming.
Hey, look, I don't even.
It's a pause
just
moment
saying,
here.
man.
Do I got to say no Diddy on this one?
No.
You just like meat in the morning. That's all.
Excuse me.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Actually, I got another one.
Why are you gay?
There we
Oh,
go.
come on, bro.
Dog, the internet got classics. Insane.
But now I'm a fruit. For the most part, I'm a fruitarian. I really only eat fruit.
Okay.
But it's weird because I do eat cookies, and it's also weird because they do sometimes contain eggs, which I don't eat. So I'm weird, man.
Bruh, didn't you say you ate Oreos?
Yeah, Oreos don't got milk.
Yeah, it's different.
Oreos is our vegan.
That vegan, yeah.
Oreos?
Oreos are vegan.
Does Oreos have any type of GMO in there?
Nope. Well, I don't know about that. They don't got soybeans either.
Man, we gotta be super careful what GMO is, right?
What do you mean?
Genetically modified organism or something.
Yeah, but corn is the same way, right? You know what I mean? Like, is it necessarily a bad thing because it got a GMO in it?
Is Oreos a bad thing?
I know Oreos are terrible.
Delicious.
Sugary as hell.
Delicious.
That man don't even know what he eat.
That's what I'm saying. He over here eating.
Delicious though.
He eating out the garbage and he don't even know.
Listen, this man just eating whatever, man.
You want to hear something funny? Hey, I was eating fries one time, right? Hey, guess he gonna give me a lecture about fries. You know that's bad for you, right?
It is.
He ain't wrong.
Here's what's funny. What did you have yesterday?
French fries.
And what?
Onion rings. And
That
garlic
man
fries.
just trying to save your life. He don't care about his own.
Yeah.
I think you should walk in like you talking.
Nah, man. We know that ain't reality, though.
That's just me. But yeah, this has been a hell of a show. You got any more questions for the good
No, I
doctor?
don't got any more questions. Yeah, I don't got any more.
Do you got anything you want to plug while you're on here?
Remote.
Yeah, no. So just, hit me on that, specifically that email address, and let's talk about like this problem of pathogen detection and how we need to stop these in our hospitals. Our hospitals are probably worse affected than anywhere in the country in Detroit. So we want to really prevent this, and to do this, like we can do it with technology. So just email me. Let's talk. I'll send you some information. And if you want to contact me, hit that email.
Could you give the email to the viewers one more time?
Was it dmarshall@totalanalysis.com?
USA.com.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We'll put it.
Wait,
in
can you say
the
one more
description.
time fully through?
Yeah, dmarshall@totalanalysusa.com.
We're going to put that in the description and
Perfect.
during the production.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Man, we want to thank you one more time for being on the show. Let's give a round of
Wait,
applause.
what's the name of your company?
Total Analysis.
Oh,
just
okay. I'm
said-
sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was two separate. Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
Well, let's give a round of applause for real this time. Thanks again for being on the show, the doctor.
Thank you, boys.
No problem at all. And of course, I'm your boy Adrian, aka D. Please go check out my channel at Adrian, aka D, on YouTube. Today's videos is about people who do. Let's go watch it. I ain't about to say the title of it. It's wild.
Yeah. Oh, peace. Oh, I'm Stubbs. Yeah, peace.
Wild with a lime here.
Yeah,
Peace.
this might come out.
Hey, we out of here. Peace.
Peace.